the Jackson State Tigers travel in to take on the Tigers of Grambling State University. Hello again, everyone. Charlie Neal along with Jay Walker. And Jay, you look at these two teams, Grambling and Jackson State, you're looking possibly today at a game that is a preview of the SWAC Championship that will be played in December in Birmingham.
Sure. When the season started, we knew that something was going to be on the line once we came to this game. In the case of Grambling, they've gotten here like they wanted to. Haven't lost like they shouldn't have. Jackson State, on the other hand, took a loss to Alabama State. Now they're trying to recover, make sure they don't have two losses to put them out of contention for the SWAC Championship.
When you speak of the SWAC Championship, 4 of the last 7 have been split between Grambling and Jackson State. Southern won the other, so this game very important for both of these teams.
It definitely is. And anytime you're talking about getting to the SWAC Championship, you want to control your own destiny. Grambling can do that. They don't want to have anything on the line when it comes time for the Bayou Classic, and Jackson State can't afford to follow any of the other competition they have in the Western Division of the SWAC.
Two high-powered offenses going at it, Jackson State and Grambling, and we'll be back with the game in just a few moments.
Catch the games. Catch the game. Play hard, play rough, be strong, be tough, take charge, dig deep, hold on, bring heat. From state to state, feel the court, hoping everybody enjoys the game and feel the sport. Just remember we're fighting to win the game like Denzel, and remember the Titans. Look, take it out on your enemy, cause it gets intense. The crowd cares and you feel the energy, and the beat is getting me to a point of hype in which both teams better be. Play hard, play rough, be strong, be tough, take charge, dig deep, hold on, bring heat. Play hard, play rough, be strong, be tough, take charge, dig deep, hold on, bring heat. Yo, catch the games live on MBC. It's live college sports, obsessed to bring entertainment abroad. Just hope that you know you're dealing with MBC Sports. Back to back. Make sure that you watch games from the CIA, MEAC and SWAC, SIAC's got you. But it ain't over till you hear this. We will rock you. Play hard, play rough, be strong, be tough, take charge, dig deep, hold on, bring heat. Play hard, play rough, be strong, be tough, take charge, dig deep, hold on, bring heat. From state to state, from field to court, hope everybody enjoys the game and feels the sport. Just remember we fought to win the game like HBCU sport. Look, take it out on your enemy, cause it gets intense. The crowd cares and you feel the energy, and the beat is getting me to a point of hype in which both teams better be. Play hard, play rough, be strong, be tough, take charge, dig deep, hold on, bring heat. Play hard, play rough, be strong, be tough, take charge, dig deep, hold on, bring heat. Play hard, play rough, be strong, be tough, take charge, dig deep, hold on, bring heat. Gotta catch the games live on NBC.
This is an NBC sports presentation.
Jackson State's Tim Manning is the leading receiver for the Tigers' high-powered offense with 44 receptions and 6 touchdowns. Grambling's air attack features Maine Douglas with 41 catches and 10 touchdowns. It promises to be a wide-open air show between Grambling and Jackson State next on MBC. Louisiana is the site of this key Southwestern Athletic Conference matchup as the Tigers of Grambling State take on the Tigers of Jackson State. Hello again, everyone. I'm Charlie Neal. Welcome to Grambling, Louisiana. You know the preseason polls had Jackson State and Grambling scheduled to meet in the SWAC Championship, which will take place in December in Birmingham, Alabama. But for that to happen, Jackson State has to win today. They have one loss in the conference so far. They can ill afford to lose another one. Grambling, meanwhile, can pad their 2-game lead in the Western Division with a win today. And, of course, they're after the 3rd straight SWAC Championship. Let me bring in my partner, Jay Walker. When you look at the team, Jay, you're looking at 2 of the premier quarterbacks in all of college football, especially in Division I AA. Let's start with Robert Kent of Jackson State, who's ranked #1 in total offense.
And Robert Kent's a fantastic football player. He can do anything that a quarterback needs to do in order to take his team to victory. He can run, he can throw, he can pass and lead, which is the key thing that he brings to the table.
On Grambling State side of the field, you're looking at Bruce Eugene, a young man who's thrown for 20 touchdowns already and is ranked 4th nationally in total offense.
Bruce Eugene is getting better week to week. He's only a sophomore, keep that in mind. He's got fantastic numbers. The learning curve is high. Great football player. Coach Williams and the staff are very excited about his potential.
51st meeting between Grambling and Jackson State, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff and the starting lineup from Grambling, Louisiana in just a moment.
You're watching Grambling and Jackson State on MBC. If you can't say nothing, don't say nothing.
Eddie Robinson Stadium on the campus of Grambling State University. And we're getting ready for this 51st clash between Grambling and Jackson State. I'm Charlie Neal, along with Jay Walker, also working with us today, Nicole Watson down on the sideline. Let's go down to Nicole now.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much. Believe it or not, this is the house of Coach Eddie Robinson built, and most of you know that. After a 57-year history here, he firmly established the dynasty that is Grambling State University football. He has helped establish 4 players and sent them to the NFL Hall of Fame, several players who went to the College Football Hall of Fame, and numerous All-Americans. But it's not easy to fill the shoes of a legend. Doug Williams has done so gracefully. He's come in 5 years ago in 1997 and helped establish his program even more, bringing 2 back-to-back SWAC championships and even a National Black College title. Now, today's matchup, both teams say that this is for the championship title. As we said earlier, it might be a precursor for yet another SWAC championship for Doug Williams. He's helping the legacy here at Grambling. Charlie and Jay, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. 51st meet, 31-18, and won the series with Grambling having the decided edge. And Grambling won the toss. As you look at Doug Williams there, 2-time SWAC Coach of the Year last year and the year before. Of course, we know what he did with the NFL, played with Tampa Bay Buccaneers, coming out of Grambling, then the Redskins headed into a Super Bowl. And you're looking at Brian Morgan, sophomore from Groves, Texas, preseason #1 All Southwest Athletic Conference. And he has the ball on the tee and getting ready to kick it off. The Jackson State Tigers. Grambling won the toss and deferred to the second half, and they will kick off. They're in their home gold jerseys and pants with black stripes. Jackson State in the visiting blue pants and white jerseys. Michael Johnson is deep. He has it at the 7. Struggles out to the 25 where he's gang tackled there, and that's where Jackson State will go to work. First down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They're led by the preseason conference player of the year, Robert Kent. He's only thrown 1 interception in the last 4 games. There he is, Robert Kent. There's his average. Leads the nation in total offense. On first down and 10, works with a naked backfield. Throws a little swing pass out in the flat. And not much running room for the receiver for Jackson State. Chris Jones. Let's look at the Office Depot starting lineups for Jackson State, the backs and receivers. Tanaka Counselor, Manning, Chris Jones, Torrey Ross, and Johnny Neal, a good group of receivers. And the offensive line consists of Matthews, Randall, Bates, Stinson, and Johnny Maddox. Johnny Maddox, returning starter there for this year for the Jackson State Tigers from the shotgun. And we have illegal motion. So Grambling on defense. Here's our referee. Let's look at the Office Depot starting defense for the Tigers of Grambling. Antoine Lawrence moved from defensive tackle to end this year, preseason all-conference player. Gray, Leonard Patton, and Calvin Arnold. Linebackers are Ron Johnson in the middle, along with Burton and Cooper. And the secondary, Chris Brown's a good one, along with Bond, Reed, and Michael Dagry. On second down and 12. Jackson's after the penalty. Ball start. Pass out in the flat. This goes to the tight end, John Neal. Make that Torrey Ross, rather. Torrey Ross out of Provine High in Jackson, Mississippi. So trying to pick up some additional yards. They picked up only 2. And it gets it back to the original line of scrimmage, which was the 25. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. Jackson State again. Robert Kent working out of the shotgun. We saw him a couple weeks ago, Jay, against Alabama State. Against Grambling a year ago, he threw 6 interceptions, and it was the same thing that worked against Grambling a couple years last year, again today. But this one for Torrey Ross is way overthrown, and to bring up a 4th down punting situation.
Robert Kent saw blitz coming that time, but we got a little too anxious, didn't hold on to the ball. He had a guy over the middle of the field, but that was the first piece of chess match. Grambling State bringing the blitz, trying to get to Kent early. They want to see how he's going to respond in the face of that pressure all day.
Dominique Addison is on to punt it away. George Pagat is the deep end to return it for the Tigers of Grambling. He'll field it close to its field strike. So to his left, he loses yards. He actually lost yards, but the penalty flag down. Or he may have fumbled the ball. He did. He fumbled the ball when he was hit and losing yards, and Jackson State recovers. So the first turnover of the ball game goes to the Tigers of Jackson State.
You're here in a rowdy environment. You've got the crowd into it. You're trying to defend home turf. Your competitors come with as much intensity as yourself. What he's done is come up with the fumble. Did a good job by Brandon Cox to recover that fumble. Thinking on his feet, running down there, getting his hands on the bottom of the pile. And you see Pickett making a good cut, and it just slipped. The ball slipped right out of there. Cox, Johnny on the spot, coming up with the football. The recovery, giving Jackson State great field position on the 45. Good block, and he just slipped aside. We mentioned in the pregame it's a little damp out here, so balls being kicked are going to be a little damp and wet all day.
And there's a time on the field. Jackson State will take over Grambling territory. We come back at the 45. No score. They get the ball back as a result of a fumble. Robert Hughes, the head coach at Jackson State University. 11 games as the interim back in 99. Went 9-3 that year. His 3rd year as the head coach after 1 year as the interim coach. Jackson State getting up early in the game with the ball at the Grambling 45 after Pigat's fumble of the punt return. 1st down and 10. Naked backfield again, Robert Kent. He's thrown on every down so far. And he has it to Torrey Ross, and it's incomplete. Been a 4-yard gain, but it was a little low. So Kent's having a little problem early on. Let's look at Jackson State's keys winning, Jay.
For Jackson State to have some success against Grambling, the Verizon keys winning are this. They got to protect the quarterback. We know that Kent's going to get blitzed. We got to do a number count how many times he gets hit. Run the football a little bit. They've got a great running back. Get him the ball. Don't rely on Kent so much. And they've got to score, and score some more, baby. This could be a shootout.
Counselor has the ball. The first running play for Jackson State picks up about 8 yards off the right side. And he stumbles forward to about the 37-yard line. So a gain of 8 on the play. There's Tanaka Counselor from Clarksdale, Mississippi. JUCO transfer. Ranked 1st in the conference in rushing. Preseason first-team all-conference player. 2nd down. Now let's see if we have offsides against Grambling. It is. That will give Jackson State a 1st down inside the 35.
Dead ball, offside, defense.
So it is offsides against Grambling, and that'll give Jackson State 1st down and 10 at the 33-yard line. Counselor, the lone setback. We'll swing back to Counselor trying to turn the corner. Not much run room as Denmark Reed comes up to make the stop. Denmark Reed, the senior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, led the team in tackles a year ago.
This here is just not even a pass. That's a lateral pass here. Get the ball to Counselor on the edge. He's kind of a little step back. Likes to run around the outside of the offensive line. Get him the ball any way you can. The running plays, although we've mentioned that Kent's thrown every down, the except for the one run. I think it's been extended handoffs, throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage, trying to loosen up this Grambling St tight defense.
Gain of a couple of on the last play. 2nd down and 8. You can see Kent changing the play at the line of scrimmage, calling audibles. Goes back to pass. The pitch is picked up, has him out there, and it's touchdown, Jackson State. No! They call it incomplete. It should have been 6 for 10 men. He had it and just couldn't bring it in.
Great job by Robert Kent, recognizing that the blitz was coming, helping to get some extra protection. He made a big throw. Manning's got to hold on to that ball. I'm curious to see on the replay, did he clear Douglas? It looked like he was running for a couple paces and that ball fell out of there. But I like the call by the quarterback in order to get his team in position to pick up the blitz protection. The blitz is coming. He lobs the ball over the top, does a good job getting it to Manning. Never quite had it when he was trying to, great call by the official, when he was trying to pull it in across the end zone. He never had control of the football. If you don't control the ball, it can't be a fumble, just a long completion.
3rd down. Kent again at the audible, and he got a delay of game penalty because he took a little too long. Play clock ran down on him, and the ball will be moved back to the 35. Well, it'll be 3rd and 13. Well, good thing maybe he did. It was an incomplete pass because if he called a fumble, Grambling might have gotten hold of the ball.
I'm sure Grambling would have got it. But more importantly, by them sending that scare shot down the middle, that may ease off the blitz of Grambling.
Plenty of time. Looking in the corner, Cletus Gordon, and he can't come up with it. He's the intended receiver. At the 2-yard line, it'll bring up a 4th down situation for the Jackson State Tigers.
You saw quarterback Kent there trying to extend the defense, trying to stretch the defense. Against teams that you know are going to blitz you a lot, you have a low completion percent, but you can rack up a lot of yards on the few completions that you get for big plays.
So for the 2nd time this afternoon, Jackson State punted away. Addison kicking to George Pagat, who fumbled the last time. He's going to let this one go, and it'll roll inside the 5 and die at the 4-yard line. And Grambling will get the ball for the first time this afternoon. They'll score in the ball game. We're in the first quarter. 10 minutes, 3 seconds remaining.
And bring us to thy kingdom, here to worship with the faithful and forever and ever.
Singing to his wife Darson. He used to talk about one job, one wife, 57 years as the head coach, 408 wins, and there's a man who replaced him here, and a lot of people don't realize. I don't want to give that away. We'll talk about it later on. It probably is a trivia question.
Charlie, you talk a whole lot, boy. You just couldn't control your mouth even when you got to, huh?
First down at 10. Grambling the ball for the first time this afternoon. Here's the stats on Bruce Eugene. First of games. And what he did in the last 4. And they keep on the ground. Running it ahead. On the carries complete. Delvin Lewis, and there's the offense. Backs and receivers from Grambling. Delvin Lewis, Thyron Anderson, John Douglas, Captain Colquitt, Sean Jesse is the tight end. The offensive line, Brandon James. His dad used to be the head basketball coach here, and the current head basketball coach is Lawrence Wright. Well, Larry Wright, and Lance Wright is the starting center for the Grambling Tigers. So we have talking about this off the old block, right? Let's start with the defense. The Office Depot defense, Jackson State. Speaks, Dubois, Archie, and Mays are the men up front. The linebackers, some good ones, especially Elgin Andrews, preseason defensive player of the year in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. The secondary, Kenyell Morgan. They've had some problems in that left corner. They have people around watching. That's a problem with his hand. And Lamont Woolard, and Mike Cooley. And premature movement after a 9-yard gain on the initial run by Delvin Lewis. It's a dead ball foul. That's a false start against Grambling. So instead of 3rd and 1, they'll be facing a 3rd down and 6. Let's look at the Verizon keys to winning for Grambling, Jay.
The defense must hit the quarterback. They plan on blitz Hopkins a lot. They got to get to him. They got to hit every time he throws the ball. The offensive line must protect their quarterback, Bruce Eugene. He's not as mobile as Robert Kent, so they got to do a good job of protecting him.
We saw Delvin Lewis pick up some valuable yards playing time against Prairie View, and this ball is going to be way out of bounds, intending it to Mon Douglas. But Delvin Lewis came into the game, played extremely well, and at the end of the game, Doug said to us, what? I found my
running back. Delvin Lewis has been playing ever since. So that's the key there when you find a good running back. And also get back to Grambling St. The Verizon keys to winning, they got to score. In a shootout like this, you got to have enough bullets to go into that war. And both of these teams come in with a lot of bullets. Who's going to get to use them?
Marcus Yates back to punt it away for Grambling. Standing in his own end zone. This is Tim Manning back to pick it up for Jackson State. He has a block, and he's going to be right at midfield. So 1 yard gain on that last drive by Jackson State. The ball said and done. They punt it away. Grambling, rather than Jackson State, will get the ball for their first down right at midfield. Midfield position right away. Again, we'll take a timeout. Still a score here in Grambling between Jackson State and Grambling. The legend here, we're at Eddie Robinson Stadium. Stadium is 20 years old, seats 16,600. Of course, he's the man that put Grambling on the map. Don't forget, MBC is your network for the best in black college sports. Watch some of your favorite games from the CIAA, DIAC, SWAC, SIAC on MBC Sports Classics. It comes your way Tuesdays at 8 o'clock p.m. This week, it's Alcorn taking on Alabama State. Don't miss this classic right here on MBC Tuesdays at 8 p.m. First down 10. Jackson State, third possession of the afternoon for them. No score. They have the ball. Great field position for the second straight time. Starting at midfield stripe. High backfield. Counselor bounces to the outside. Gets a first down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Tanaka Counselor on the run.
Great job by Council there. He's a little scab, like I mentioned before, kind of darty. On this wet surface here, he could be hard to contain, hard to bring down, because you never get a clean shot on him, and he's able to cut just a little bit better than the defenders are.
First down 10 at 39 for Jackson State. Counselor again on the carry. We got a false start as Jacobs started toward the line. The man in motion a little too soon. That could be the fact that he's missed six practices because he decided to leave the team and then decided to come back later this week. And his timing was off a little bit. He's bowed to the line of scrimmage a little too soon.
Yeah, he likes to hit somebody there any chance he can. He had a running start there. Take a look. I want us to watch. Tanaka Council, the running back. He's come out. He's made presence already. He's got to ease off some of the pressure on Kent. He's managed to do that thus far. And Elgin Andrews, also from Jackson State, the linebacker, SWAC Player of the Year. Plan on getting it out. Somebody's going to have to play defense. He's going to have to be leader for Jackson State.
Preseason of the year, and he was doubtful for today's game because he had a problem with the knee this week that he banged up against. He had an MCL. And he banged up against Alabama State a couple of weeks ago on the counter play. Back in the middle. Make a fumble, and let's see who came up with it. Grambling takes advantage of this one. There's Ron Johnson, 55, out of Baton Rouge, Southern Lab. He comes up big. So each team has turned the ball over once here in this ball game.
And that's what happens when you have rivalries. There was a lot of trash talking going on before the game. These two teams, they know who each other are, they respect each other, and they talk so much trash to each other, they put themselves up. In a game like that with this intensity level, the team that calms down first and settles the nerves will be a great team. They'll be in great shape for the long run of the game. Right now, both teams are jittery. They need to calm down.
From their own 40, Grambling goes to work. Second possession for them. A little better field position from the shotgun. Bruce Eugene looking up top. Going long, and it's incomplete. Kava Colquitt is the intended receiver on the far sideline. Bring up a second down and 10. On the incompletion, we're in the first quarter. 7:45 is the time remaining. Still no score here between Grambling and Jackson. Alabama A&M and Alabama State also playing today in a game that has a lot of meaning also. Alabama A&M's unbeaten in conference play in the East Division. Charlie Neal, Jay Walker, Nicole Watson here in Grambling, Louisiana. Eugene on second down in the middle, complete, and he almost had his receiver. That is Teron Douglas killed.
Great job being a ball hawk to the football by Mount Willard there, following the football there, knowing that. And, we know that Teron Douglas, that's not his #1 wide receiver. That's his buddy there, so he must have read a bad cover. If you lay out your buddy that way there,
roommates.
Yeah, you know Douglas is going to give you all the hands, laying out, making himself as big as he can. Willard just wanted to make sure that he had his jock strap extra tight this week.
Willard out of Gulfport, Mississippi, Gulfport High, and second leading tackler on this team. And bring up a 3rd down and 10. Douglas, Eugene, gets the first down, and Bruce Eugene gets into Jackson State territory. Finally stopped at the 43-yard line. Now, he doesn't run that much, but he can run. He runs for a pair of touchdowns a year.
We keep talking to the coaches. We say, well, coach, what are you going to do? The quarterback that can't move, he's not mobile. And Doug always has a little wink in his eye. He moves a little bit. Don't let the size fool you. He's a good runner. He shows him how to sit there, making the first guy miss, and then leaning forward, getting 2 yards. As a quarterback, he's getting the first down. That's all you want to do.
18 yards on that run by Eugene. He's scrambling out of the pocket again, sidearms it, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Tyron Anderson. So to bring up a 2nd down, Bob Hughes, coach at Jackson State, calls Bruce Eugene a misplaced fullback. Doug calls him fatback. Well, he said he weighs about, what, 245? He's pronounced since we saw him a couple of weeks ago, seems like, doesn't he?
Yeah, a lot of credit to him. He started to take football serious, realizing he's got the arm, wants to do the other things to make him be the best football player he can be.
2nd down and 10. And here's the quarterback on a design keeper. Takes it down inside the 25 to the 23. So another 1st down on the run by Bruce Eugene.
Good job of playing a little bit of a trick. They think quarterback can't move. They show that he can. They set up a wide open lane for him. They got big number 63, Brandon James, out there as a lead block seal for him. Bruce did a good job of covering and protecting the football towards the end of the run, not risking another turnover.
He's the leading rusher in the game. 37 yards, 19 on that carry, 18 on the previous time he ran. On 1st down, he's going to go to the air on a corner pattern, looking incomplete on the far sideline with DJ Clay.
Well, he wishes he could have that one back. They got 1-on-1 coverage with DJ Clay going against the defensive back there for the Tigers. 1-on-1 coverage, had him inside out, threw the ball a little bit too early before he came out of the break. That's one he wishes he could have back.
Clay just couldn't catch up to it. DJ out of Mansfield, Louisiana, came in the game with 7 receptions. As you look at Eugene, he's not on an interception the last couple of ball games. Here's Douglas. And Douglas is down inside the 15 to about 13 and close to 1st down. Let's see exactly where they spot it. They're looking at a measure. It's close.
It's close, and that's where the game of college football has changed a lot. It's not the old 2 running backs in the backfield, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, spread open offense. And you don't care if that can run or even if he's slow. They want to spread you out, and instead of running the ball right down your throat, they want to give you some trickery, running the ball on the edges with these little extended handoffs, which was there was just a 10-yard run, basically, because the ball was home behind the line of scrimmage.
Grambling started the season with a loss to McNeese State. Since that time, they have reeled off 6 straight wins, with wins over Alcorn, Alabama A&M, Tennessee State, Langston, Prairie View, and Arkansas Pine Bluff. Eugene has thrown, as you look at Bob Hughes, thrown a touchdown in every game so far this season. He was a point guard, believe it or not, in high school in basketball.
I don't believe it. You said believe it, I don't believe it.
6:04 the time remaining. First quarter, still no score, but Grambling threatening with 1st and 10 at the Jackson State 13-yard line. Deepest penetration so far. This was not going to the quarterback. It went directly to the running back, Delvin Lewis, and that was read very well by the Grambling defense. They snap the ball to the running back rather than the quarterback. There you see Buddy Mays, a preseason second all-conference player, coming up to snuff it out. One of the best pass rushers on the defensive line, who became a starter midway through last season for Jackson State. It is 2nd down and 10 for Grambling. Eugene steps up, throws, overthrown in the deep corner. And it was Douglas, the intended receiver. There's Doug Williams, not happy. See some of his offensive brain trust. Of course, Sammy White's on this staff. Melvin Spears is the offensive coordinator. Here's Tremont Douglas out of Baton Rouge, Glen Oaks High. 69 career receptions, 1,066 yards and 12 touchdowns here at Grambling. Steps into a starting lineup this year. Incomplete. No flags. Douglas is pleading with the referee. He's looking for pass interference. So it'll bring up a 4th down.
Not going to get it. We saw there was just great blanket covering play by the Jackson State defender. Gary Cooper did a good job of getting, I'm sorry, Papa, that's not Gary Cooper. Corey Bond with a strong safety, good job to take away the outside route. Grambling likes to run a lot of choice routes down there. You go to a post or a corner. He took away the corner, made him run the post. The time goes off.
31-yard field goal attempt by Brian Morgan is up. It is good, and we have a score. So it's 3-0 Grambling. 5:12 remaining here in the first quarter. They drive from their own 40, and they convert on a 31-yard field goal. Morgan hit it. We'll be back. But to you in part by the Verizon Reads program. Not only does it look good, it was kind of good, wasn't it, Jay?
Well, it still smells good. They got this open-air stadium. It's real shaking and everything around.
We got the sausage and everything else on there. Like you said. And some of the Jackson State people came in yesterday afternoon with their RVs. They've been out in the parking lot. And, getting ready all night long.
Just your typical weekend in Southwestern Athletic Conference football. They do that like every week. Doesn't matter if you're in Lorman, Mississippi, or Jackson, Mississippi, or West Louisiana. They're going to tailgate party, that's for sure.
Ryan Morgan kicking it off. 19-yard line, up to 30 on the return. Look at the last scoring drive. MBC scoring drive. 11 plays, 47 yards. He used 2:38 off the clock. Morgan with his 4th field goal of the year from 31 yards out. More importantly, 37 of the 47 yards by the quarterback, Bruce Eugene, running the ball. So, Jackson State with the 4th offensive possession from their 30-yard line, trailing 3-0. Tanaka Counselor. The lone setback behind Robert Kent. Counselor has the ball into the secondary. Half the tackle, and they finally bring him down after a 6-yard gain. Denmark Reed had him for a moment and slipped it from him, but he got some from Willie Gray and the gold and black along with Ron Johnson there.
Yeah, on a wet surface like it is out there today, one guy's not going to be able to counsel down. They're going to have to get there by committee, and I know from experience, he's going to keep those legs turning. He's not an easy guy to bring down.
It is 2nd down. It's our student athlete of the week, Jackson State's Robert Kent. 3.1 grade point average. Peter Talaji. Counselor again. Counselor maybe a yard. Down to the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
One of the things that you kind of like is we have to ask who has the better supporting cast. For the running game, I'd give the advantage to Jackson State. They're leaning on their offensive line a little bit. They've got a big offensive front behind Randall Matthews, Extension, and those guys. See if they can create a couple first downs or to let Superman unleash his bombs later on in the day.
3rd and 3 for Jackson State. 44% on 3rd down conversions this season so far. And the pass is out there. Intercepted. One-handed. Denmark Reed. He's coming back with it. And Denmark dropped at the 43. So first interception in the ballgame. 2nd for Jackson State.
this is nothing new to the Grambling St Tigers in terms of intercepting Robert Kent. Last year they put him off 6 times. Here in the first quarter they've got an interception already. They went well one too many times. Manning had success on that play earlier. This time Denmark Reed made an adjustment. You see, take a look at Kent. He'll lay the ball up there. This is just a great athletic player. That's feast or famine. If he misses that reception, that's a touchdown going in easily. But since he was able to have the vertical leaping ability, get up there in the air and hand on the football, instead, first down, not afraid to be a hero, Denmark Reed.
13th career interception for Denmark Reed. Here's Eugene going to work on first down, incomplete. Working the left side.
Pass intended for number 6, Calvin Colquitt.
Colquitt with his intended receiver.
Trying to work the backside of the offense a little bit. We know that Tremont Douglas is going to get the football thrown his way as well as Tyron Anderson. But the key to having a successful spread out offense is being able to go to the right side and left side. If he can get Colquitt off this game, they're going to be very hard to defend.
Sidearms it, incomplete, dropped right in front of the Grambling bench. And Dougie is standing over his receiver, looking at him, and that's Tyron Anderson. His cousin, Scotty Anderson, of course, playing with the Detroit Lions right now. Let's look at it.
One thing, Eugene does a good job getting outside the pocket. And look at the little quick flick of the wrist to get the ball downfield. That's the second one he's dropped today. I give Eugene a lot of credit. Going back to him after the first drop. After the second drop, you have to talk about it.
So the Tigers of Grambling will call a timeout and talk things up. We're talking about the receivers. You know, they lost some good ones from a year ago, but Douglas, Anderson, and Colquitt came into today's game with 82 receptions and 16 touchdowns between three.
Yeah, they can do some great things out there. It's a running back, it's my receiver by committee, but we definitely want a star in terms of Douglas with a great support cast. A star can only be good with a supporting cast. We got a great one down at Grambling.
Don't forget on Wednesdays right here on NBC, you can enjoy African-American drama in the edition of Broadway by watching Sacred Places. It's on NBC Theater. Comes your way Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on NBC. Eugene 1 of 10 in pass today, and a couple of those because he's overshot people, and the other one was had drops.
He's had drops, but when you're throwing a wet ball out there today, on a damp day, they're blitzing a lot. Your pass is just going to go down to the tubes. Don't worry about it. Just make sure you continue to go to the right people at the right time of the football. Man, I love black college football. Like this, as a football player, I love seeing cheerleaders out there. Everybody says they just want to be out there when it's bright and sunny. These girls are down in the trenches. It's wet out there, getting mud on the shoes, and they're still cheering. That's why you got to have a great support staff on and off the field.
Talking about sacks, though, one of the things that has been a deficiency in the defensive alignment for Jackson State, they've only sacked the opposing quarterbacks 8 times this season.
Yeah, that's just saying that they get pressure on the quarterback, and if they don't get to Bruce Eugene today, he's going to kill him. 3rd down
and 10 for Grambling. Eugene steps up, sees some running room ahead of him, gets the first down and goes out of bounds in front of the Grambling bench at the 43-yard line. So he picks up 12, 13 more yards and add that to his rushing total so far this afternoon. Bruce Eugene, before that run, had picked up 37 yards on 2 previous attempts that led to the field goal. That run was for 14 yards, so he has 51 yards on 3 rushing attempts so far today. 1st and 10. Grambling in Jackson State territory at the 43 from the shotgun. Eugene looking long. Far corner. Has a man there. That's Tyron Anderson. He can't get to it.
Just missed by a little bit there, trying to extend. Keep going to him, though, young fella. Keep going to him. He's going to step up and make a big play for you sometime in this football game. You can't X him out just because he had a couple drops. Didn't get his flash downfield as you thought he would have. But I like the idea of what he's trying to do. See what happens. You get one-on-one coverage there. Defensive. He beats him by a little bit. So right there, time is just off slightly a little bit. You got to understand, he's not going to be as fast on the damn field down there. Timing's off, but they'll come back to it because it looks like they're playing straight man-to-man coverage.
Cooley was the man defending. You look at Tyron Anderson, 6'5", 205 junior. Tall, rangy speedster from Jonesboro, Louisiana. Little quick, skinny post. And here's Anderson. Anderson is dropped at about the 26-yard line. But not before he picked up good yards, and a penalty flag is down.
Looks like they tried to get some pressure on Eugene, got a little upset at him when they got rid of the ball. They might have roughed him up on that. This is how college football's changed. A little extended hand. Throw the ball to him behind the line of scrimmage and let your athletes, these guys are the speed demons, running great yards for you after the catch. They call them rack yards or yak yards. Yards after the catch or run after the catch. Let them keep on running the football because they're such explosive playmakers.
Yeah.
Almost like a little pick with Tremaine Douglas.
18, write it down for me.
Oh, yeah.
18, yeah.
The ball's thrown behind the scrimmage. You can go downfield, block wherever you want to.
And we get a personal foul, as you said, Jay, as they hit the quarterback a little late after he got the ball away to Thyron Anderson. Thyron Anderson was a 21-yard reception. And again, Grambling knocking on the door with a 1st and 10 at the 13 of Jackson State, leading 3-0. Eugene throws. Incomplete. And there's Douglas. That was the intended receiver. And Corey Bonner, who was going to FAMU one time, in fact, made a verbal commitment to Florida A&M and decided to change his mind and came over to Jackson State, first year starting.
Douglas gets 2 gloves on. He just couldn't quite bring it in there. Kind of surprised that Jackson State hasn't made the adjustment. They continue to challenge. It's just a matter of time before Grambling State completes that pass. 2 of 12 passing for Eugene today, who came into the game ranked #1 in the conference in passing efficiency. Incomplete. This time, Jerome Jesse, the tight end, was the intended receiver. And he's frustrated with himself because he hasn't had a game this long time in terms of pass completions as opposed to passes thrown. I guess if there's any saving grace, even though he hasn't completed a lot, he hasn't thrown any interceptions either. Yeah, and the saving grace is, is the fact that he's winning. That's the key right there. You want to have somebody that's winning. If you're down and you're getting beat by 10 points and you're not complete passes, you're pissed off at the whole world. But the fact you've got a lead, you just kind of get excited about it and say, I'll get it together. It is 3rd down and 10. Eugene at the 5. He could get in. Touchdown, Grambling. 13-yard run for Bruce Eugene. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And they take advantage of the interception. Take it down for 6. Did a good job of following entourage. Take a look at pulling guards here on this side. They're pulling. He's just following the entourage. He's got Brandon James leading behind, sealing off the wall. When you got a quarterback weighing 245 pounds, all he has to do is get close. He can lead to the end zone for the rest of the yardage. Great call by the Grambling St offense coordinator, Melvin Spear. And the point after by Ryan Morgan is good. And we have a 10-0 ball game, but we have a flag, I believe, maybe. I see the officials conferring. There is a penalty flag now. Let's see what it's all about. Talking things over with Ryan Morgan, the captain.
Got a cue.
Holding. There. Confused.
Barely
good.
So penalty was against Jackson State for holding. But it's academic.
You'll see the guys here do a pulling guard technique. They're going to pull the left side of the line of scrimmage with the tackle and the guard, pulling them from left side, bring them around right with a quarterback counter. Eugene finding the right hole. He showed some mobility with his running skills today without getting to the end zone.
64 yards rushing for Eugene today. And let's go down to Nicole.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much. Many have deemed the game the battle of the quarterbacks. Robert Kent for Jackson State and Bruce Eugene from Grambling ranked #1 and 2 statistically in the conference. But Coach Hughes told me for Jackson State, the onus is not on Kent to have this matchup. They say they need to protect him, and the offensive line needs to step up to make sure that they do well. On the other side, Bruce Eugene, as you saw, can flat out play. That's the quote from Doug Williams. He says that this guy, don't let the size fool you. At 6 feet and 250 pounds, he can go to work. We saw him do that just a few minutes ago. Coach Williams calls him affectionately Fatback, obviously because he never met never saw he didn't like. And I think he reminds him a little bit of himself. Charlie, back to you.
Yeah, Doug's put on a few pounds himself, hasn't he? And Jackson State gets the ball. Once again, trailing 10-0 in this ball game. Charles Lee on the return at last scoring drive. 7 plays, 57 yards, and they used up 1 minute and 6 seconds off the clock as they went from their own 43-yard line and took it down. Then Bruce Eugene capped it with a 13-yard run. He's the leading rusher in the ball game so far with 64 yards. 1st down and 10, Jackson State at their own 32. Tanaka Counselor behind the quarterback, Kent. Nowhere to go for Counselor as the gold and black converge. Led by Willie Gray, senior out of New Orleans, Louisiana.
We talked about the importance of the running game. Right now, you're down 10 points early. It's time for you to unleash your best weapon and get the passing game going. If you run enough to keep it at bay, expose the Grambling State secondary, start throwing the football downfield to Manning. We haven't heard Manning's name much at all the first quarter.
No, we have not. It is 2nd down, 10. No gain on the last running play. Jones is the man in motion. Kent. He just steps into trouble. He stepped into trouble that time and trying to avoid trouble. He stepped into trouble. Gray was one of the men there. Antoine Lawrence, the other.
A little bit of impatience. You know, we've been hit as often as Robert Kent has. It doesn't take much if you want to tuck the football, start running with it. In that case there, he's got to show a little bit of patience, stay in the pocket, continue downfield before you make up your mind to try and run the ball.
Empty backfield on 3rd and long. 3rd and about 17 for Jackson State right now. Chris Jones was the man in motion. Here's the pressure. Steps up, throws in the middle of the field. It's intercepted. Mark Reed with his 2nd straight interception on the 6th straight series, and Grant has it at the 30 of Jackson State.
Just before Reed there, he got a little anxious. You know, starting to get into that play there. They got pressure to Robert Kent where they shouldn't have, but they did with a zone blitz, so they made Kent think he had more pressure than he had. Then Mark Reed just seems to be following the quarterback side. Pressure there. You see the Jackson State offense blocking nobody, and then Mark Reed, he threw the ball right to him. Mark Reed, gimme. He did a good job of catching that ball because Robert Kent has a gun. He throws the hard every time. You take a look here, they're going to just zone blitz. They're only going to rush 3, but how in the world did Ronald Johnson come in there untouched to pressure Robert Kent to make him throw the interception? Then Mark Reed still doing a fantastic job of, after he got the interception, giving the ball back, let those guys score the touchdown. Bruce Eugene and Douglas and all those guys.
There's Denmark. He has a pair of interceptions this afternoon. And what's so interesting, in 6 games coming into today, Jay, Kent had only thrown 7 interceptions. He's thrown 2 so far this afternoon. 2nd down and 10 for Grambling at the Jackson State 30-yard line. In great field position. The last drive started at the Jackson State 43. Eugene out in the back, has it completed. Douglas had the 1st down at the 26-yard line. It's not a 1st down. Correction. It's a 5-yard gain, 3rd down and 5, but that should be the end of the 1st quarter here at Eddie Robinson Stadium in Grambling, Louisiana, where Grambling State has a 10-0 lead over Jackson State, and Grambling to add to that lead. We'll be back in the 2nd quarter in a moment. Talking things over, faced with a 3rd and 5. 10-0 is our score. I'm Charlie Neal. I'm with Jay Walker and Nicole Watson, and we're at Eddie Robinson Stadium. If you want to keep tabs on what's happening around the college sports circuit, visit MBC Network website, www.mbcnetwork.com. You'll see sports schedules, contests, interviews, and much more. Also learn more about our programming, the type of programming that the entire family can watch. That's NBCNetwork.com. Third down and 5. There's the 2 yards in the game. 3 turnovers so far by Jackson State today. A fumble and 2 interceptions. And Grambling has taken advantage of one or a couple of turnovers so far. Field goal and a touchdown. Eugene on 3rd down. He's going to take off and run. Gets the 1st down inside the 20 to the 19. So his arm hasn't done it today, but his legs sure have, Jay.
Yeah, he's made good decisions on when to run football. He's not running for the sake of running, trying to pad his stat. He's running the football, trying to get 1st downs, and every time he's run the ball today, he's managed to pick up a 1st down. Good job here. You see him looking downfield. Then he decides to tuck the football, give you a little move there. I don't know how much Willard was fooled by the move there, but at the end, he just kind of overpowered him.
Well, I don't know if he was fooled, but he sure laid Willard out a little bit. Willard's getting helped off the field. So you got that 245, 50-pound quarterback running at you. He's only 15 passing, but he's run so far for 71 yards today. He's much for more yards than Jackson State has combined. First down and 10 at the 19 of Jackson State. Fade pattern in the end zone, and it's what? For a touchdown, or he's out of bounds. They're saying he's out of bounds. That is incomplete. And there's flag on the play anyhow that was going to nullify. That was Corey Brownfield who came up with the reception, number 84. Let's see what the penalty is about. Offsides against Jackson State. So it'll bring up a first down and 5.
You know, all they're doing is taking advantage of the one-on-one coverage they've got there. And the thing about this Grambling State offensive unit, wide receiver by committee, but if that's your backup and he's making a catch like that, he actually might have got that foot in bounds. Wow, they're looking at the wide receiver.
They are. First to 5. Into the court again. Incomplete. And they're going to get a flag. And this is going to be this little against Mr. Bonner, Corey Bonner. And the pass intended for Tremont Douglas, but he impeded his progress toward the end zone. So it'll bring up a first and goal. It's a matter of where they're going to spot the ball, if it's going to be half the distance.
One of the things, if you notice in the tempo of this game, we haven't seen too many short passes.
End zone.
It's in the end zone, so they'll mark it at the 2.
Down.
They can't put it at the 1. They'll put it at the 2-yard line. First and goal at the 2 for Grambling. Delvin Lewis, the lone setback. Delvin Lewis doesn't have it. The quarterback has it, and that's UVN for his second rushing touchdown of the day.
Just a little bit of athleticism there. Get them on the outside edge there with the leg. Good job faking it to the running back, allow your quarterback to make plays for you.
So a touchdown again. Every turnover by Jackson State has resulted in points for Grambling today. A field goal, 2 touchdowns, and Brian Morgan's point after is good. We have a 17-0 game.
Turnovers are costly. Anytime you get turnovers that are turned into touchdowns like this, just the bootleg, all he had to do was put one man on the inline of the scrimmage of the Tiger defense. He got Richard Sloan to go dive inside, chase him right back. He did the bootleg around the back door. Sloan here to commit to get to the running back here. Once he does that, he's done for him. Chasing the running back, not following the football. Reed Keys wide open. That was like stealing right there.
4 plays, 31 yards. That's all they need to get into the end zone. Started at the Jackson State 31 after the interception. There you see Bruce Jean. Like I said, he came into the game with all kinds of passing stats. Last 4 ball games, he's thrown 16 touchdowns. And well, a ton of yards, but he hasn't had to rely on the arm this afternoon.
And I don't think Coach Williams mind this, because what he's doing, he's becoming a winner. Learning how to win, doing what it takes to win football games. So as a quarterback, you think, well, rather than touchdowns, how many total touchdowns am I responsible for?
Jackson State on the return and holding onto the ball with both arms is Brandon Cox. Make sure he doesn't fumble it. He can become gun-shy after a while. The team, and you know, from being a quarterback, you know, if people continue to be off or you continue to fumble mistakes, you become overloaded sometimes.
Yeah, more importantly, you have a great team like Grambling on the other side that's making hay every time you turn the football over. I know they had a 4-play drive, 31 yards. Just took a minute 13 off the clock, but they only had to go 31 yards to get the touchdown. And the big fella capped off with a 2-yard touchdown run.
From their own 37, Jackson State again will go to work. Last 3 possessions have ended in turnovers. Let's see if they can put something together here. Kent with a little quick pass And Torrey Ross has some room across midfield, cuts it back, and is inside Grambling territory at the 43-yard line. So that's what they're going to have to do to get something going. Robert Kent, to that point, was 3 for 9 in the passing department with a pair of interceptions.
You know, anytime Grambling's going to commit to blitzing, they're going to sell out some of the coverage there. They just left off uncovered, completely uncovered. He made the first 2 guys continue to turn the legs and get upfield. Just a little 5-yard pass turns into a 20-yard gain.
Manning is the man in motion on the option down the line. Kent keeps the ball, steps on 1 tackle and struggles down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Good running by the quarterback, Robert Kent, who himself this year has rushed for 3 touchdowns.
Well, one of the things, you know, you'll never say is that Robert Kent is not an athlete. He did a good job of attacking the line of scrimmage, and he actually took the D-line, Anton Lawrence, there for a little ride. He's got some strength in those legs.
2nd down and 1 after the 9-yard gain by the quarterback. And he's going to get the first down, breaks into clear momentarily, but more importantly gets the first down inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. So Jackson State now trying to get something going as they've penetrated deep. The deepest penetration they had was to the Grambling 35. They punted, and they got to the Grambling 40, and they fumbled the ball. So this is the deepest penetration they've had so far in this game. We're in the 2nd quarter, 12:40 of the time remaining. 17-0 Grambling. All as a result of Jackson State's turnover. Fumble again by Jackson State, and I think Grambling has it. They do. The 4th turnover this afternoon. Counselor never really got it.
Yeah, it looked like it never really got it completely from the center there. They had a fumble on the quarterback running back exchange, which is something they shouldn't have. As a quarterback, you like to think I can hand the ball off with my eyes closed. So I don't think he got the ball clearly from his center. But Ronnie Johnson, good job of pouncing on the football.
Coach must be doing his hair out on the Jackson State sideline. We'll be back. Here, we're in the 2nd quarter. The time remaining, 12 minutes. Let's go down to Nicole.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much. With me now is Hugh Green, a former NFL player, and most importantly for this matchup, a teammate of Doug Williams down in Tampa Bay. And Hugh, you said you knew early that he had the talent to be out here on the football field in the coaching position.
Yeah, Doug over the years have experienced a lot of different things, and once you go from one category to the next category, to relate it back to your alma mater, you get a chance to expose some kids to some stuff that you've been there, done that basically.
Well, you know a little bit about giving out to the kids and everything. Q was number 2 in the Heisman voting in 1981 and won several honors after that. But tell us about Coach coming back to his alma mater. He said it means a lot to him.
You know, basically, I should have been here, you know, in support. Just like a lot of guys throughout the league that have known Doug, played with Doug. But for him to come back to his alma mater, do what he's doing, then it's incredible, and it helps preserve the SWAC the way it should and always will be.
All right. Thank you so much, Hugh Green. Charlie, back to you.
All right. Hugh Green was a great one. Down in Tampa, 31-yard line is where Eugene rushes the ball up to. Gain of about 3 yards on the play to bring up a 2nd down and 7.
You know, when you see a guy like Hugh Green coming to help out, to give back, that's what it's all about. Former players supporting former players. There's a fraternity, tight group that I never played with Hugh Green. Had an opportunity to talk to him, say, hey, I used to play 4 years in the NFL. He accepted me like family. He understands what being a former player is all about.
Certainly does. DJ Clay was the man in motion to keep the ball, go straight ahead. Delvin Lewis on the carry. Delvin gets up to about the 34-yard line. We're going to be 3rd, about 3.
You know, with Delvin Lewis, Coach still wants to see what he has. We saw him in the Prairie View game get his first amount of significant time, but they want to see if he can carry the ball the length of a game, 4 quarters. They think he could be something special.
137 yards coming in 2 appearances this year for the Grambling Tigers. Now they go with Delvin Lewis on the right side of quarterback. Eugene to pick up the blitz, and they have a complete for down. And here's Douglas trying to get something going. Tremont Douglas, and he gets the first down to the 45, 46-yard line. So Tremont Douglas finally getting some receiving yards, his second reception of the day.
Yeah, he comes across formation, just runs a simple quick out. This is, you can tell when a wide receiver is starting to feel it. Trying to make everybody miss. They get a great job of blocking by Anderson at the end. And at the end, he's kind of telling defenders, hey, you guys can't touch me, even if you wanted to.
12 yards on the reception for Douglas. Actually, that was his third reception. He has 27 yards. He came into the game with 41 receptions, 742 yards for the year. Quarterback has an open field, block from Colquitt, cuts it back outside and goes out of bounds after the down. He picks up another 13, 14 yards. He's going to have 100-yard rushing today.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job.
We're talking about backs and the quarterbacks, and I'll refer to it after you look at this replay, but we're talking about quarterbacks in the SWAC as opposed to quarterbacks in the MEAC. We see a lot of running quarterbacks in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference with Alan Silver and Reese McCampbell and the kid up at Morgan State. We don't see that a lot in the SWAC. Mostly passing quarterbacks, but we're seeing some running here this afternoon.
I'm John Livingston from the Hill. We got some ribs here, potatoes, some steak, and chicken wings, and drumsticks, and fries.
And we'll be there right after the game, won't we?
I'm gonna find him. Hope we didn't let him go too far.
Doug wants us to come over and get some gumbo, but I don't know. He'd have to come out with a win because I wouldn't want to eat any gumbo after he loses.
Yeah, you down in Louisiana, you got to get some gumbo. Even though this is northern Louisiana, we can get ribs almost any place. Gumbo, though, on the other hand,
we're talking to Larry Wright's son is starting. Larry Wright, the former member of the Washington Bullets, the NBA, and the head basketball coach. His son is the starting center, number 63. They have a set out there. They're cooking today. Everybody's cooking out today.
They mess around, cook me if they could, wouldn't they?
10:50 remaining second quarter. Eugene from the shotgun on first down, looking back, has it completed into the field, and that's DJ Clay with the first down to the 21-yard line.
That's too much time they're giving Eugene the pocket to throw. I mean, you know, we mentioned they got to get some pressure to him. He hasn't come under pressure maybe once or twice, but he made one early in the game. By him using his feet early on in the game, that set up the Jackson State defense to tell them, hey, don't try and come after me too much. I can hurt you with feet.
He started the game 1-10 in the passing department. Now he's 5 of 17, 63 yards. He has not thrown a touchdown, and he has thrown in every game so far this year. But uses his legs. He's run it in twice. 4-6. Back to pass. Touchdown, Grambling. He just threw up there, and who went after it? None other than DJ, should say, Douglas.
That's his guy. You talked it up. Mentioned that he had thrown a touchdown. He heard what you said, Charlie Neal. One-on-one coverage. They've gone to this play several times in the game. It's laid up there, allowing wide receiver to run up under the football. That's almost a mismatch. Anytime it's your best wide receiver against the other team's opposing strong safety. Strong safeties are supposed to hit. They're not the best coverage in the secondary. Good job of putting Douglas in position to get the touchdown reception.
And the point after is good for Douglas. That is his 11th receiving touchdown this year, and the 23rd in which Eugene has thrown. And it's now a 24-0 game, all the result of turnovers. He was sifting stuff on that beat for a long time. I'll tell you, Grambling State University, as you look at Tremont Douglas with the touchdown reception, 21 yards, nice young man. Had a chance to talk to him on a couple of occasions, and just wants to go out and play hard. Our theme, right? Cox on the return to the 22. He may have fumbled. He could not turn the ball over 4 times against a team like a Grambling State University and expect to be in the ball game. Again, you don't count Jackson State out. One of the reasons I say that is we've seen teams in the past score big points in the first half, and you know, sometimes you just have to get in the locker room and talk things over and come back with a new renewed energy in the second half.
Yeah, you know, it's almost like the most dangerous opponent is a desperate opponent. When teams start getting desperate, they find a way to get back in the game.
So Jackson State, 7th possession of the first half. 4 have ended in turnovers from their own 24. Kent from the shotgun. Stands in there, throws. Torrey Ross has it, dragging a defender, but not before picking up the first down. And that was Bridges on the coverage. Aaron Bridges out of New Orleans, junior.
Good job there. Ross is getting to the middle. Middle of the field's wide open. Anytime you're getting blitzed, that means the middle of the field's wide open. They're leaving it to him. He's doing a good job keeping his man off the line of scrimmage. He stepped up and had a big game there.
Complete to Ross again. So Ross continuing to play well. This is his third reception. And another first down, and this one goes into Grambling territory. 9 minutes remaining here in the first half. Still plenty of time. Not a desperate situation yet for Jackson State. We'll win the first half.
Seems like it's been a whole lot of football playing. We still got plenty more to go.
1st and 10 at the 46 of Grambling. Showing blitz. Pass out in the flat. It goes incomplete, intended for Tim Manning.
Mark Reed there almost came up with another pick, another reception. If the ball would have been thrown right to the wide receiver, I think Reed would have gone the other way. But since he missed him on the outside, Reed couldn't get to it.
And Mark Reed, a pair of interceptions this afternoon that has led to Grambling touchdowns. Ross goes to the far side. Between Manning, Ross, and Chris Jones, 103 receptions this year. And they had lost guys like Story. This one's batted in the air, and the quarterback catches it, and he's dropped for a loss. He'd have been better off maybe letting it fall incomplete.
But good athletes think they can always make a play. Just making one guy best, trying to do a spectacular. Hit the ball there, play didn't work, just reset, come back and get it the next time. Good job of the blitz coming on the left side. He was getting rid of the ball quick, which was a good thing. Good athleticism shown outside by the outside linebacker blitzing. Kent there just knocked the ball down. Instead of giving yourself a yard loss, you could have had 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10 instead of 3rd and long.
3rd down. 19. We're talking about people who've been lost, such as T.C. Taylor and Story from a year ago. And these receivers stepping up to the plate. Here's a long pass. Manning can't get to it. No, Chris Jones either. It was between the two of them.
You saw Kent there. You saw the arm strength there. He threw that ball some 55 yards in the air off his back foot there, just trying to make something happen. They still, although they've been shut out so far, they just have to find a rhythm. It's 24-0, but 24-7 makes it a close game, and 24-14 make it a real close game. Maybe Grambling will do some things they don't want to do.
A punting situation for Jackson State. This is Piggott on the return for Grambling. So that was the first drive since the first two that have not resulted in a turnover for Jackson State. There's a timeout on the field, under 8 minutes to go. We're in the first half. 24-0 Grambling. The second quarter, Charlie Neal, Jay Walker, Nicole Watson at Eddie Robinson Stadium in Grambling, Louisiana, where Grambling has taken advantage of 4 Jackson State turnovers and converted them into points. And they have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 21. Eugene with a pair of lucky touchdowns is running the ball once again, slides down after a 5-yard gain to 26. He's also thrown for 1.
The drop of so many people in coverage there. It seems like the Jackson State defense has DBs all over the field. They've got 8 people back in coverage, only rushing 3. Nobody's open. Bruce Eugene's been a recurring theme over and over again. Running the football, 5 yards, 15 yards, 18 yards. Good command of the huddle, good presence on the football field.
Doug Williams, the head coach of the Grambling Tigers, a 78 grad here of Grambling State. And the tight end, I believe that was on the reception, just had to get his head around Jerome Jesse just in time, because that ball was already thrown before he ever looked.
And you like that. You like that. That's what you're taught. You want to throw the ball before your receiver comes out of the break. And what you saw there was the arms of Bruce Eugene, because that ball had a lot of mustard on it. He zipped it in there well.
And it's a first down at the 34-yard line. Here's Deshaun Jesse from Houston. Booker T. First down and 10. Again, backfield for Grambling Tigers. 3 wide receivers to the left. And Eugene takes off in the middle when they leave everything open. Cuts to the outside, picks up a first down, and runs out of bounds just shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. A gain of 13. So quarterback Bruce Eugene over 100 yards already rushing, and add 13 more to that. It gives him 114 for the day.
Yeah, and he's also got 2 rushing touchdowns to go along with that.
And he's tired. Look at that. He said, wait a minute.
I'm not in shape to do this. I'm not in shape for all this. I want to throw the ball. This is being a little to encourage me. Against Coach Williams, he'll tell you what Bruce needs to run it anyway.
There is his stats for today so far. He's thrown 7 of 15, or completed 7 of 15, 8 of 16, and we have a completion for another first down with Deshaun Jesse, who came to the game with 9 receptions. He has a pair this afternoon. Jesse's also at times played on the Grambling State basketball team at 6'4", 230. A big imposing target. And the quarterback steps up again, but Jackson State's ready for him this time. Not getting out of there. Dante Jones comes up to make the stop out of Memphis, Tennessee. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Good job, Big Dante. Just sliding off your blocker, locking up with the offensive lineman you're engaged with, and then peeking for your quarterback. Only problem is if they ever get the running back there and get the ball to Lewis, he's going to be trying to get some, he'll be tackled there.
Grambling calls a timeout, 6:02. The time remaining here in the first half. And you look at the SWAC standings and you look at how they got to this particular point. Of course, Jackson State comes in as number 3 in the Eastern Division. Of course, Alabama A&M and Alabama State playing. Alabama A&M's on top, so they need some help from Alabama State with a win today. Alcorn State has 1 conference loss. Jackson State cannot afford, even though this is an interdivisional matchup, this counts on the conference stats.
Yeah, it does.
As far as conference standings are concerned.
Well, I'm so glad you understand stuff, Charlie, because I sure don't sometimes.
Well, Grambling is in the Western Division. 3 of the games that they play against Eastern Division teams count. This is one of them, along with Alcorn and Alabama State game. So, Grambling is really standing in the driver's seat right now. Let's look at our Office Depot Player of the Week. Bruce Eugene, actually, we had to come up with a couple co-players because these guys did such a great job this week. We had to go with 2, and that's Bruce Eugene from Grambling. They beat Arkansas Pine Bluff. He threw for 374 yards, 7 touchdowns a week ago to 5 different receivers. And the other one, TJ Stallings from Morgan State University, ran for 206 yards and 5 touchdowns as they beat Howard at Howard's homecoming. Here's Eugene standing in there, has it complete, and it's Tyron Anderson on the reception, and he has a first down at the 27-yard line.
And as you saw Eugene back there with all day to throw the football, they've got a way to get pressure. He actually looked on the far right side of the field and did something you're not going to do as a quarterback. Came all the way back to the left side of the field in order to get the completion pass there. As you take a look at Bruce Eugene, what he's going to do, he's going to take a look at everybody. Take a look at his head right there. He's looking all the way over here, comes back to the back side, throws the ball to Tyron Anderson.
And he's going to the air deep again. Douglas is there. Touchdown! Great catch by Douglas. Flag is down, probably off defensive pass interference.
Yeah, generally when a guy gets that wide open, somebody was holding, trying to prevent him from getting open. It's just a matter of whether or not you push off to get that open. That's the key.
Listen.
He's got a look in his face. He looks a little good, Charlie. I don't know.
Well, let's wait for the official signal. I believe it's going to be Jackson State.
I think you're right.
It is. Well, they had an illegal substitution also. Well, whatever it is, it's against Jackson. And there's Douglas with his 2nd touchdown reception of the afternoon. This one coming from 26 yards out.
He's a big playmaker. They do a great job of getting him one-on-one coverage, and he's making the most of it.
Morgan for the point after is up. It is good. And the points just keep on coming. 31-0 in the second quarter. Who would have it? Move back. Mr. Douglas with 2 touchdown receptions today. He has 12 for the year. Charlie Neal, Jay Walker, Nicole Watson. 31-0. Grambling on top of Jackson State. In this 51st meeting between the two. Mon Douglas with a pair of touchdown receptions, and of course Eugene with a pair of touchdowns rushing, plus a field goal, 4 of the scoring plays as a result of turnovers by Jackson State. Can't afford to do that, although they just took that ball down the field on that last drive.
One of the things, it's hard to judge exactly how good can the Jackson State team be without those turnovers. We know Grambling had an opportunity for the drive. They've done it. So it's kind of be interesting second half, to say the least.
Michael Johnson on return for Jackson State. Has a little room, still in his feet, all the way up to midfield. So a great return to put Jackson State in great field position. The last scoring drive was a 7-play, 80-yarder. Up 254 off the clock, and Douglas with a 28-yard catch, his second of the game. First down and 10 at midfield for Jackson State. Kent looking in the air, incomplete. That man wide open. That was Manning. They just, you know, you always wonder about players that are hyped up at the beginning of the season. Is there a lot more pressure on them? And the other thing you have to look at, again, from Jackson State's standpoint of view, they've only played one game in the last 3 weeks. And they've had a week before the Alabama State game, in which they lost. They had a week off last week. Their timing could be off, where Grambling, meanwhile, has been playing every week.
Yeah, and it was interesting in talking to their staff. They didn't really use that week off to rest people up. He said they had a lot of live scrimmages. So this isn't a team that's out fresh. Normally coming out of a bye week, you come out with fresh legs, a little bit more energy than your opponent. They don't look like they have more energy than Grambling right now. They look a little tired.
On 3rd down and 7. Kent looking to the air, has a complete for a first down on the far sideline, and Ross goes out of bounds. Torrey Ross on the reception.
What they've done, seems like they've done a good job of taking Kent's main target out of the game plan. In Manning, Ross has stepped up. Look to Torrey Ross a little bit more. Get more completions to him. They'll start double covering him. You can only double cover one wide receiver at a time. Then that'll free up Manning later on.
First down and 10. Kent steps up, decides to run, still on his feet, and scrambles down to the 25-yard line. And he'll be a yard shy after a 9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
This would be a chance to take a deep shot on. 2nd and 1. If you don't get you come back and run the ball for the first down later on. Try a deep shot here. Let's hope they don't do a little quarterback sneaker in the thing. Getting a little conservative, and I guess we had a game, or a half we've had so far where things don't go your way. They're trying to play just first down at a time, not taking anything for granted.
So a timeout is called, or there's a player down for Jackson State. Of course, both teams are known as the Tigers, the Grambling State Tigers, the Jackson State Tigers. 4-3 remaining, and what a halftime is in store for you. The Battle of the Bands and the Sonic Boom of the South against the world-famed Grambling Tiger Marching Band. Bob Hughes on the sidelines with concern on his face.
One of the things about Coach Hughes, you take a look there, he's got a couple of trademarks. That's the look of a coach right there with the stopwatch. He's got the scowl right there when things aren't going right. Looks like a football coach. Every time you see him, even when you see him off the football field wearing a suit, you're assuming, hey, you coach something. I don't know what it is, but you coach something.
Let's look at this week's NBC Black College Sports Page Top 10. No change in number 1. Bethune has been there since the season started, where number 2 and 3 swap places. Graham moved up to 2. South Carolina State dropped to 3. Alcorn and Hampton rank 4th and 5th respectively. In the bottom 5, Fort Valley hosting Tuskegee today. That's a big game, number 7 against number 9. Everyone else remained the same with the exception of number 10, Fayetteville State, who came into the top 10 while Morehouse dropped out.
A lot of parity. This isn't one of those years where we see people run off the compete for the top spot with a lot of undefeated teams. Just don't have that with the exception of Thune-Cookman, and they're one of the few teams in 1AA that's undefeated, so they're doing a fantastic job there. But they've got challenges coming up. The meat of their MEAC schedule is coming. That's the first test.
Yep.
They've got a lot more coming.
Antoine Lawrence, the man shaken up, walked off. First down and 10 for Jackson State. Kent under pressure, steps up, stumbles forward, still on his feet, and is down inside the 10 and dropped right about the 10-yard line. So good run for Kent. He picks up about 13 yards. So both quarterbacks showing they can run. Came into the game as passing quarterbacks, ranked very high in the ability to run the ball, and now they're showing that they can run it.
Yeah, you know, now you can see some of the flashes of what has everybody oohing and on. He feels pressure coming from the backside on the blitz. He makes that guy miss, and then when he cuts upfield, he makes 2 people grab air, and then the toughness comes into play. He's got the athleticism to keep the legs moving, always churning and burning. I don't like seeing such a valuable player get hit so much. You got to start protecting his quarterback sooner or later. It's just a matter of time before the laws of physics catch up to you. Your body can only take a pounding so much.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what we touched on earlier about the comparison a lot of people are making between the Southwestern Athletic Conference and the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference when it comes to the quarterbacks, where the MEAC quarterbacks are better, or not better, but known as the running quarterback league, with Alan Suber doing his thing, and what's the kid's name up at Morgan State?
Little John.
And then, of course, Reese Campbell down at South Carolina State. You know, in the SWAC, you're looking at passing-type quarterbacks. And you know, but the thing is, no matter how good you are as a passer, you got to be able to run a little bit.
Yeah, that's what the game of football's done. No longer do you want the pure pocket passer. Not just in the black house level, all college football. Then you look at the NFL, the Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick. These are guys that have the ability to make you game plan them. You have to know where the quarterback is at all times, not just his teammates.
Well, we ask you to keep abreast of news events and the people who are making it happen. Comes your way every Monday on MBC. Tune in to Spiritual Impact at 8 p.m. and then America's Black Forum at 8:30 p.m. So Jackson State has spent another timeout. 3 minutes and 40 seconds is the time remaining in the first half. And now this penalty is going to be against Grambling, which moves the ball down a little further to be first and goal at the 5. On first and goal from the 5, throws touchdown. Cletus Gordon. Jackson State finally getting on the board.
That's just what they needed. You don't want to go into halftime with the 0 they're showing. That means nothing's working on offense, nothing's working on defense. They've shown they can move the ball. They've gotten to the red zone several times. Robert Kent's going to take a quick 3-step up here and deliver a bullet to Cletus Gordon. Set up on 3 steps, release the ball on the inside, hard thrown pass, great catch, great route to Cletus Gordon. Pass from Robert Kent.
And he couldn't drop that if he wanted to, right? Ashley on for the point after. He's 13 of 20. He's missed a bunch of them this year on PATs. Well, it's not automatic. This one is up, and this one is good. So 31-7 is our score with 3:05 remaining here in the second quarter. So that's a 50-yard drive for Jackson State. Remember, they had a good kickoff return that was brought back to the midfield stripe, and they took the ball down the field. A big one by the quarterback, Robert Kent, and they're into the end zone the first time today.
They moved the ball a little bit. Early on, you had the incomplete fumble that it looked like with Tim Manning in the end zone. Could have easily given them a 7-0 advantage. Grambling came out, turned over the football early. Jackson State didn't capitalize, and they kept it 0-0. And it was just a matter of time before Grambling took advantage of the turnover.
Talking about quarterbacks in the SWAC, last year they had who's who among quarterbacks. Adam Lamb, who's now at Morehouse College. He was at Texas Southern. Randy Himes, who was here at Grambling.
The legend Randy Himes.
Yeah, and who Eugene has taken over his spot. You know, Himes threw for 1,938 yards, 16 touchdowns, 11 interceptions a year ago. Eugene's already surpassed him.
Yeah.
Eugene came to today's game with 1,973 yards and 22 touchdowns. Then there was Terrence Levy at Southern University, Darnell Kennedy at Alabama State. I mean, they've had some great guys. Donald Curry right now at Alcorn's doing a great job. kid over in Mississippi Valley. I mean, they've kept great quarterbacks over the years.
Yeah, that's the thing about these quarterbacks in the SWAC. SWAC quarterbacks are legends. They never just fully graduate. The legend continues. We always joke, me and Doug Williams were joking about the legend of Randy Hahn, all-time winningest quarterback in Grambling State history. Who would have thought that?
Right. Especially after people like Doug and Shaq Harris.
Yeah.
From the 4-yard line. So on the return is Octavius Bond. And Octavius Bond brings it up to the 33-yard line. Grambling gets the ball once again with 3:23 remaining here in the first half.
Octavius Bond a little bit yesterday in practice. He plays defensive back. He's a big physical kid, great athlete, as you tell back there running the kick with a great kickoff return. Well,
Eugene has some room. Slides down at the 40. About 6-yard gain. I don't think that the receiver Douglas knew he was coming, because he never got a chance to throw a block out there that time. And
you know he's going to block for his boy.
Roommates, remember?
Yeah.
They had the last scoring drive. Eugene throwing, it's a little big, but it's still caught by Douglas. I thought it was overthrown. Didn't you?
So did I. But Douglas is a big target there. He's 6 feet 1 inch, 6 foot 1, 205. Yeah, he did a good job of climbing up the ladder going to get it.
He did. That's a first down all the way to the 30 of Jackson State after getting 33 yards.
Yeah, Douglas attaching the seam. The ball just flies out of his hand, and Douglas does a good job of running vertically until getting up in the air to make the grab.
Here's our quarterback again. Throws it, and it's complete. Inside, Byron Anderson. Down to the 18-yard line. And it's another first down for the Grambling Tigers, who are trying to put 6 more on the board before intermission.
If they do score 7 points here, I mean, this will really hurt. Get some momentum. They're just trying to take all momentum that Jackson State had built off their last drive.
Little fade pattern into the end zone, incomplete. On the far side in the corner of the end zone, we was trying to get it to Browning, but there's a penalty flag down. Browning, the intended receiver. Here he is, number 84. And this one's against Jackson State. So just to add insult to injury, you got a penalty flag against you deep in your own territory.
When it rains, it pours. And that's kind of what's happening in the first half to this Jackson State Tiger team.
Offside against Jackson State. So first down and 5. The ball is spotted at the 13-yard line. Eugene again going without any backs in the backfield. Here's Eugene trying to square up to get in position to go away. And that will not be a little grounding because he was outside the tackle.
Outside the pocket, kind of that's the things you learn from. He got a little too cute for his own good there. He figures he's untouchable now. He's a great running threat. He's had success running the ball.
Now to throw the flag. But how can you throw a flag for intentional grounding when you're outside the tackles? I thought.
Well, maybe saying that he was in the grasp and they knew he was going to get sacked. That's why he got rid of the ball. It's a little different if you're the quarterback and you're running and somebody's coming to hit you and you throw it. But when the guy got you and you get rid of the ball, maybe they're saying that's already used to avoid the sack completely.
All right. Well, they're going to get a penalty. Loss it down also goes with this intentional grounding penalty.
It's going to be.
So to bring up third down. With loss, 3rd and 11. Ball spotted at the 19. Second down? Maybe that was a first down play.
Yeah.
2nd and 11. Jesse, intended receiver. Defended pretty well down there.
Great job of the defender getting there, getting a hand on the ball. Right underneath.
That's Davis.
running underneath the big tight end. Vince Davis was giving up a couple of inches there. He's 6 feet. Jesse goes 6'4". Not going to win a jump ball against a big 6'4" target, but he did a good job of undercutting that ball that was lobbed there to prevent the touchdown for Grambling.
3rd and 11. 2:02 remaining in the first half. Quarterback throws. Almost incomplete in the end zone. Douglas was the closest Grambling Tiger to it. So that went on Brian Morgan. Going to attempt the field goal. This will be about a 38-yard attempt for Brian Morgan, who longest this year is 46. So this is well within his range. It actually is going to be a 36-yard attempt. This one is up. It's not going to make it. It is short. So it's still 31-7.
And more importantly, with the short missed field goal, they get the ball back there on the 20-yard line. They can get a drive going and score before the half. That'll be 2 touchdowns they put up to shrink that Grambling lead. Minute 55 is a lot of time for this potent Jackson State offense,
which only has 1 timeout remaining.
Generally, the consensus is if you've got close to 2 minutes, 1 timeout is really all you need. You know, you get a first down, then that stops the clock for 2. So they've got plenty of time here to try and put some points on the board. No more turnovers, though. No more turnovers.
From their own 20, Jackson State with 1 timeout remaining, a minute 55 on the clock, trailing 31-7. They have the ball. 80 yards in front of them to get to the end zone. Thrown across the middle and is caught for a first down at the 40-yard line. So that's a 20-yard gain, 21-yard gain on the first play. So you pick it up in bits and pieces, right?
That's what you do. Move it 1 first down at a time. Right now the clock stopped at 45 until the officials mark the ball. Then the clock starts to tick. So you've got plenty of time. Not that big need of a rush, but just continue to move down the field.
And that's the thing about college football is the clock does stop on first down when they move the chains. And the quarterback's in trouble. And he goes down. And Cooper comes up to stop out of Vicksburg, Mississippi. The red shirt freshman, his 4th sack of the year.
Coach Williams said, hey, he's my best blitzer. So anytime you see him in the football game, I like to blitz him, and he's got the man on that play.
7-yard loss, 2nd and 17. Manning in motion. Kent throws. Great defense by Chris Brown, who knocked the ball away without interfering with the receiver.
Chris Brown, he's the best defensive back on the team. Pro Scout in here checking him out week in and week out. Got a good body on him. He's 6'3", weighs 200 pounds, so he can get physical with all those receivers. That's why Pro Scouts love him so much.
3rd and 17. 31-7 our score. 53 seconds remaining in the half. Complete to Manning. Still not enough for a first down.
That's kind of a guessing match. Got close to 4 seconds left. 4th down and 5. Are they going to elect to go for it, or are they going to kick away?
We're going to, well, let's see. Grambling calls the timeout this time. But Grambling decides they're going to take the timeout here, and instead of Jackson State, because Jackson State was going to get penalized. They were a little incisive of what they want to do.
Yeah, and I think maybe what Grambling was trying to do was, with Jackson State going to pump the football back to us, let's try and save some time for us so we can run our 30-second offense and put a field goal on the board before we go into the half as well.
Well, Bob Hughes over on the sidelines. What is he going to do? Is he going to play? He's going to go for it.
High risk. Don't know what if you get the high reward, little reward. If you don't get it, you're giving the ball to Grambling somewhere on your side of the field, and they only have to just get maybe 1 or 2 first downs before they're putting points on the board. He's letting his emotion get into it, but at 31-7, you kind of throw out your emotion and you throw out the playbook, and you just try and create some energy for your team. Any type of momentum you get, any type of swing.
It should have been Grambling's last time out. Look at Bob Hughes, who's been around Jackson State for, 33 years. 32, 33 years he played there. Then he was on the coaching staff for 28 years. He's been the head coach for the last 4. So he knows it well. They're going to go for it because I see Robert Kent in the lineup on 4th down and 5. The biggest 4th down play probably for Jackson this year, especially here in the first half if they want to score before halftime. They rank number 1 3rd down conversions in the conference coming in. There's a man open. He missed. Cletus Gordon wide open, and this is going to be short. In Courtney Rogers on the reception, but we get a flag. Cletus Gordon was wide open down at about the 25-yard line. Never got a chance to see.
You know, when you're looking at the other team's opposing defense lineman, you can't look 2 places at one time. If you're looking at the lineman, you're not looking downfield. It's the wide open target.
Roughing the passer is the call on Grambling, so that moves the ball forward and gives Jackson State a 15-yard penalty and a first down. And Doug is questioning roughing the passer call.
Doug knows what's at stake here. He realizes if Jackson State gets any type of momentum, he's got to actually coach again in the second half. He wants to limit the scoring so he can go into halftime and relax a little bit.
On 1st and 10, more importantly, 23 seconds on the clock. Going in the end zone, and it goes incomplete. Actually, 4 seconds was left on the clock. Incomplete, and Chris Jones was the intended receiver in the end zone. Being covered by Octavius Bond. So 4 seconds, this should be the last play of the first half. But that previous play, Cletus Gordon was wide open. Kent just never got a chance to see him.
He did. You know, they'll look at the film next week and see that. All it is just a learning process. Don't make the same mistake twice.
Kent, a junior out of Indiana, Mississippi. Eugene, a sophomore. We'll see these guys another year. And the preseason conference player of the year. He sets up, throws it in the middle of the field. Here's Manning trying to make tackles, and that's going to end the first half. 31-7 is our score as we go into halftime. Let's look at how the scoring took place here in the first half. It starts with the interception. This started for Jackson State. That's it up for a touchdown. That's Denmark Reed picking it off. And here Eugene with the first of his 2 rushing touchdowns. He takes it in from 13 yards out. And then on the little quarterback keeper in from 2 yards out. Then he goes to the air, 21 yards up top to Tremont Douglas for 6. And then Jackson State finally getting in. Cletus Gordon, a 5-yard pass from Robert Kent. And let's go down to Nicole with Williams.
All right, Doug, kind of lopsided, but totally in your favor. What do you do to keep your team motivated and make sure they don't take the situation for granted?
Well, first of all, I think they understand the route here, and they understand who's on the other side. And you know, they scored not long ago. They moved the football down there, and they know they are moving the football. What we got to do is go inside and make sure we don't get complacent and this thing is over, because it's not over. We have another half football.
You're pleased with the productivity of your quarterback, I'm sure.
Well, ain't no doubt about it. I think Bruce missed a couple reads, but overall, I think he's doing some good things when he's in trouble, scrambling, and getting some positive yards. I think that's the most important thing.
Excellent. Good luck in the second half. Thanks so much. Charlie J., back to you.
All right, our score 31-7 at halftime. Our battle of the bands and our sound of the game coming your way. Jackson State and Grambling when we come back. Jackson State University, the sonic boom of the South. Under the direction of Dr. Lewis Liddell, the dancing young ladies are the J-Sets. And enjoy the sonic boom of the South.
You just heard the Earth, Wind, and Fire Family in the song. And on the theme of the band's anthem of the radio station is the mix of Earth, Wind, and Fire. What hope! Feel your sonic boom, baby. And begin today's show with a letter called Southfield Grill. To Earth, Wind, and Fire, let's groove tonight. representing JFU for Jackson State University, Mississippi Comprehensive Urban University, celebrating this sweet centennial of 125th anniversary. Sonic Boom continues with Earth, Wind, and Fire, Get Away. Medley continues with Got to Get You Into My Life. Check out this Boogie Wonderland. And now for this outstanding swirl of Dejon Oliver. Presenting the thrill of moon of brilliant eyes, unchanged and yet untelling. Feel calm, grace, agility, and beauty. It's the incomparable Prince James Best. The music of Michael Jackson's Pretty Young Thing is TYT. Ladies and gentlemen, the first paragons of fortitude, the Prince James Best. As the sonic boom persists in intensity, please understand that our field maneuvers are not fervid. They are invigorating, astounding, and incomparable. They always bring about media, honor, and zeal. Now why don't you synchronize your program apparatus and observe the diversity of this immense and vast aggregation. Zoom in on the female excellence of the progressive ensemble as the clock is turned on today's destiny.
Louisiana, the show is now heating up. The phone at the stadium, gorgeous. It's getting hot. It's here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pardon this interruption. There has been an emergency situation involving the Jackson State University Band. The Sonic Boom has been indicted for blowing out college and university band. And settling today with the willful intent of blowing out Grambling State University. So boom, how you please? Boom, how you please? It's time to go to trial. 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 Let's go to trial. We got out to lose. Came to play wheels down 90DSU. And now let the trial go. Let's demonstrate how we run the house. Mississippi's Comprehensive Urban University, the Sonic home of it all. Jackson 5 drum majors are led by Tara Ma, the university's first female head drum major. Assistant drum major by Jerry McLaurin of Jackson, Jay Levy of Jackson, Don Joseph of Detroit, and Don Hudson of Mobile. Director band, Dr. Elizabeth Dale Higgins. Director of band, Michael Miller. Assistant director of band, Ringo, director of the presentation, Calvin Worthy. This is Jimmy D. Higgins for Jackson State. Thank you, and
The Cyclone of the South under the direction of Liddell and the J6. We'll be back with more from Eddie Robinson Stadium in Grambling, Louisiana, right after this. Grambling State University Tiger Marching Band.
opposing school and just stick to what Grambling do. Right. Basics. Everything. So
I just dropped one of my hip announcers. Then you got the band's name in rehearsal. And we treat them out. You have to say anything about the band.
Thought we everything planned. It's that now, since we couldn't say what to say, we gotta go back and recruit.
You got to put your seat in it. And it's rehearsal. You're gonna put tomorrow. You think I'll see people? The people are gonna move it. But if you're scared, I never know. You're gonna be twice as scared than you get into it. The same man will get you scared. That's about it.
The Grambling University marching band orchestras in the direction of Larry Purnell.
I put my stars on.
Yeah, people.
When we realized today, I'm like, okay, we were trying to time it.
Don't worry about that.
We just couldn't time it.
Don't worry about that. If I had told y'all about that, y'all never would have.
All right.
The Cowboys Giants game after we saw them in Dallas at the State Fair Classic against Prairie View. Now let's look at the first half stats, Jay. Of course, the total yards, Grambling has the edge there, 321 to 176. And you see the average play, time of possession. Jackson State has had the ball longer, but you see they have the points on the board. Let's go down to Nicole with Coach Bob Hughes.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for joining us for this, the beginning of the second half. Tell us about what you told the team. A lot of turnovers, a couple of mistakes, but you are already on the board. Tell us what you did in the second half.
We told him that we should have scored the first two times, missed the ball in the end zone, and then we had the 5 turnovers, so that nobody 2 opportunities. What we got to do go back to the second half, do the same thing. We got to do like we did at the start of the game. Start off a lot of intensity and go from there.
All right, the cat fight continues. Charlie J, back to you.
All right, one of the things Jackson State has to do in the rushing department is get some yards on the ground. They only have 55 yards rushing. Eugene, by himself, the quarterback from Grambling, has 120.
He does, and he's kind of taking it upon himself to lead his team to victory. This is his first real, true SWAC test in terms of how tough he's going to be throughout his young career. And right now he's standing up to it, and he's rising to the occasion. He's scoring, he's throwing touchdowns, he's running the ball extremely well. He's done a great job trying to lead his team to victory in the first half.
Grambling will get the ball to start second half. They won the toss to start game and deferred to second half for the kickoff. And they lead it 31-7 here. Does Jackson State have to come out and throw the ball a lot in the second half?
They need to score. You know, whatever they do, they need to score. You have to run. If the run game is open and you get an opportunity to put points on the board that way, take advantage of it. Don't feel that you just have to throw the ball because you're down by a lot. I mean, they're down by 24 points, but with the 2-point advent in college football, that's just 3 scores. So if you score 1 touchdown, all of a sudden you're down by 2 touchdowns. So put points on the board no matter how you get it, and don't turn down any points. But I hate to see it when they get down by a lot, and all of a sudden they act like field goals are non-existent. If you're in a position to kick a field goal, kick a field goal. Points is the name of the game at the end of the ball game, not during.
And there's the comparison stats we just talked about. Eugene, what he's done. Jackson State, only 55 rushing yards in the first half. Jackson State passed for 121 yards. Grambling State, 189 yards. Eugene, 12 of 26. And a pair of touchdowns. Kent, 12 of 23. So both teams owned the ball quite a bit in the first half, 49 times between the two. They've completed 24. Coming into the game, Jackson State was averaging 40 passes per game, while Grambling was averaging about 38 passes a game. So they're out on track.
One of the things that impresses you is the Grambling, they've thrown the football like the first half. They didn't even come close with an interception. It's just been overthrows, making great reads, not even close to an interception, where Jackson State, on the other hand, can stumble fixes in the first half.
Ashley to kick it off to start the second half. Grambling will get the ball. Comes down to Octavius Bond at the 4. Bond. Oh, he's hit. What a hit put on Octavius Bond at the 22-yard line. And it was Thompson, Fred Thompson, who really put the leather to him.
Fred Thompson, he said, he's from Jackson, Mississippi, representing hometown. So I'm going to show you what we saw the sonic boom out. So I'm going to show you the sonic boom on the football field. Look at Thompson, full speed, bow, punches him. Bond does a good job of not calling up the football on that instance there.
So from their own 23-yard line is where Grambling will start the second half, leading 31-7. They scored about all of their points off of a turnover. All of their points basically come off a turnover, a fumble, interception, a fumble. All but one score has come as a result of a turnover. Now a timeout has been called by Grambling on the first play to start second half. So something was amiss, and
they just had to give Doug something to yell about. 24 points he wasn't enough. Stuff like this will have you so upset because it shows that you're not really concentrating. You're not focused. Somebody didn't run on the field when they were supposed to. That's one thing coaches need to get a big lead when people get lackadaisical.
I want to say a special thanks to Rick McCall, the trainer here at Grambling State University.
Your best friend.
Yeah, he's my best friend. He got me ready for today's game. I'll tell you, I was on IR there for a minute. Rick, along with Ebony Johnson, a young lady from St. Louis, Missouri, and Pat Taylor, they did a great job of stimulating my foot. I wasn't able to walk yesterday. First down and 10. Grambling. DJ Clay motion. Eugene steps up, a little shuffle pass out to Clay, and Clay gets the first down out to the 34-yard line.
That's how you know he's feeling. You know, he's feeling. He knows where everybody is on the football field right now. Anytime you get away with a 7-yard shuffle pass over some linemen, off the backboard.
Like a foul shot.
Yeah, off the backboard. He called bank and got it over and got it in there, and it was complete. So he's known his presence on the field. He knows where everybody is. He's one step ahead of everybody else.
He has not been sacked today, I don't believe. That is
yeah. Not even close.
First down and 10. And he has it complete this time to Calvin Colquitt. And Colquitt has another first down to the 46-yard line. Gain of 12 on that pass.
We talked about Colquitt earlier in the first half. He's a little bit of a burner, 6 feet, 180 pounds, sophomore out of Atlanta. He's got some moves with it. You take a look here, Bruce is finally going to get hit after the ball's released. They're making him pay a little bit. Colquitt making defenders, cutting across the grain, stepping up. Great play, first down, Grambling State.
In trouble. He's going to be brought down by Dion Dubois, the defensive tackle from Chiqualak, Mississippi, preseason second-team all-conference player. Came to make the stop defensively for Jackson State, and it's a loss of about 2. Second and 12.
Yeah, they're picking up the intensity. You can tell they came out, they hit Bruce after the ball last time. Now they get him for a sack, trying to pick up the intensity to carry their offense to give them a chance to win.
One of the things that Grambling has not done, and we saw them score touchdowns on the run. The quarterback keeper, they'd only scored 8 touchdowns coming into the game. Incomplete. You were looking at interception as Lamont Woolard got his hands on it, weren't you, Jay?
Yeah, he did a good job of coming across there. You know, it's a no-no when you're throwing the ball to a guy that's covered by two people inside, outside. He got away with one, but the pressure up front made him throw the football. He didn't have all day sit there and pad it and look for a second or third receiver. They gave him time for one wide receiver, then throw it.
Deshaun Jesse was the intended receiver. This will bring up a 3rd down and 12. Coming into the game, 24 of their touchdowns that Grambling has scored were on by the air, 8 running. Quarterback scrambling, incomplete, in front of the Grambling bench. And Tremont Douglas, the intended receiver, so after 5 plays, they're going to have to punt it away. Yanez comes on to do the honors. Only the 2nd time he's punted this afternoon. The first time was on Graham's first possession. Yanez gets it off. Fair catch, the ball forward, dropped, and recovered by the return man. That is Manning. Jackson State, they don't need to be more snake bitten, do they?
They look at it this way. Maybe the game might bounce in their favor in this half. So if that was the first half, I'm convinced they would have lost that punt. But in this case here, they were able to get back.
Timeout on the field. 31-7. 12:43 left, 3rd quarter.
The 1942 undefeated team at Grambling State University. You're watching Jackson State versus Grambling on MBC.
They don't go far, do they? They stay around for a long, long time.
Look, I told you, old SWAC legends don't go away. They just grow in stature. You're in, you're out.
31-7 our score. Charlie Neal along with Jay Walker, Nicole Watson, Bob Hughes on the sideline with the stopwatch. He was running something there. The stopwatch didn't work. It was he was checking the time. He said it's a long game. From their own 19, Jackson State with the ball. Kent, 2. That's complete. And he hasn't completed his score. He came into today's game, Jay, having thrown only 1 interception in his last 4 outings. Unfortunately, he picked off twice today, which resulted in Grambling touchdown.
He knows all eyes on him. A couple of those throws, he was trying to do too much, weren't even close. Trying to step up and make plays, trying to put things there in the first half when nothing went right. We'll see a test of character in the 2nd half.
Jackson State started the season with a loss to Mississippi State, then to A&T, and in fact, he threw 5 touchdowns against A&T. His one is to Chris Jones. Jones is into the secondary, and finally a good open field tackle is made by Aaron Bridges, but not before the first down, close to the midfield stripe. They'll mark it at about the 47.
And look here, he's uncovered here coming off the line of scrimmage. Nobody's in front of him. Get 2 lead blocks by the wide receivers. He almost took that ball for the touchdown. Grambling got lucky. He just got a first down.
Aaron Bridges saved the day. And now it's a 1st down and 10 at their own 48-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left. Chris Jones goes in motion. The blitz is coming and picked up pretty well. Thrown back across the field to Torrey Ross, and Ross has 9 yards out to about the 43-yard line.
That's a great job of Robert Kent, thrown to the right and able to throw across his body back to the left. I mean, he does things that are special, some things that you just can't teach. Being able to throw against your body like that while you're running full speed, he's a special type of player.
2nd and 1 after the completion of 9 to Torrey Ross. Ross is in motion. Here he comes, Yanez. The punter comes untouched. And I'll tell you, put some pressure on the quarterback, Kent, even though he got it off.
And Kent doesn't even see this coming. He's still looking at the blitz on the right side, forgetting he's got a guy coming unprotected on the left side. Got to do a better job learning his protection and knowing where he's going to get hit.
3rd down and 1 still after the completed pass. Warden is at the top of your screen. Now we may have an offside against Grambling. If so, that'll be a 1st down for the Jackson State Tigers.
We got him again as the quarterback starts to get more comfortable in the game. He determines that, hey, I get 1st down using my voice. all the little intangible things that you can't teach. Go with the hard snap on 2, see if you can get a first down rather than having to work for it.
One of the things we knew coming in, and Mike Roach, the defensive coordinator of Grambling, said is, we know we can't stop Kent, we just have to slow him down a little bit. That should have been intercepted almost in and out of the hands of Chris Brown. Chris Brown, that would have been his 4th interception of the year had he come up with it.
And this is one that Kent wishes he could have back, and so does Chris Brown. This is the gimme if you're a defensive back. Ball floating in the air, nobody close to you. He just kind of dropped it. Goes back to why he's a DB. DB's a wide receiver that can't catch, Charlie.
Chris Brown has 12 career interceptions coming in. Trips wide receivers to the top. On 2nd down and 10. Almost a minute in motion. And they tried a little end around with Chris Jones and to no avail. That was read very well by the Grambling defense, led by Calvin Arnold.
Yeah, they weren't fooling Calvin Arnold there. The 6'1", 245-pound junior at Columbus wasn't fooled. They tried to run some misdirection. Hey, I'm trying to fool you. If I beat my man, I'll put a stop to all this.
Calvin Arnold just turned 21 last week out of Columbus, Georgia, the only newcomer to the defensive line from a year ago. 3rd down. Pressure from Brown on the outside. Chris Brown was really chasing Kent coming from that quarterback spot. And normally it's a safety blitz. This was a corner blitz.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring everything but the kitchen sink. They definitely wanted to hit Robert Kent every opportunity they get. Bring in a corner. You got a cornerback with enough speed to get to the quarterback. You can get away with those things.
So, Grambling will have to punt it away. The Jackson State had to punt it away. That's Don Gaddison, freshman at Cheeto, Mississippi, averaging 34 yards a punt, 10th in the conference at department. Pickett. And he scrambles back to the 22, 23-yard line. So there's a time on the field with 9:57 to go. They're in the 3rd quarter, 31-7. It's been all happening. Go back. Nicole Watson, 31-7 our score here. Let's check out our NBC trivia question of the week. Who was the first football coach in Grambling State University history? I'll have the answer for you a little later on. Log on to www.mbcnetwork.com and you can answer on the World Wide Web. Some of O'Keefe's part of the dance troupe for Grambling State University's marching band.
They've done a great job building this stadium here. This is a great place to play black college football.
Seats 19,600, built in 1982. And now going for Delvin Lewis on the running game. The most effective runner today has been the quarterback, Bruce Eugene, 118 yards rushing.
You know, right now, it's kind of what's Grambling going to do. They're going to come out and continue to do what's got them some success, or they're going to try and run the ball off the clock a little bit. I think they'll try and do a steady mixture of both.
Well, if you can pick up some yards on the ground game, it makes the clock tick a little faster, doesn't it? But it's 2nd down after a loss of 4, 2nd and 14. And here's Delvin Lewis trying to pick up some of those lost yards. He gets about 6 of them, or make that about 9 of them back. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
He's a freshman. We talked about how he's a redshirt freshman. He's just now getting into the lineup. Part of the reason is making those freshman mistakes, showing up late for team meetings, things like that. So Coach Witt has a strict policy. If you don't practice or you show up late, you don't play.
Don't play.
Teaching discipline at an early age. He'll be effective later on in life.
No question. On 3rd and 5. Douglas knocked out of bounds after the first down at the 49.
That's a great job of throwing the football by Bruce Eugene. Marion Mark had a break on the ball. He just put the ball in such a perfect location that he couldn't get there.
First down at 10. Understand your alma mater came out victorious today with the win of the Aggies of North Carolina A&T.
Say it again, Charles.
Was that in Greensboro or?
It was a home game.
It was a home game.
Home game.
Okay. And they play Norfolk State next week at home. First down and 10. Correll Charles. First time we've seen him run the ball today. He had been a starter until Delvin Lewis came on the scene, and as a lot of people say, you can't lay your glove down because somebody else will wear it or it'll fit their hand.
Yeah, definitely know Correll Charles. He knows he's been in that situation. He came to Grambling as a walk-on, so in order for him to get a starting position, he had to have taken somebody's job too. What's happening to him? It's interesting to see how he's playing this out.
2nd and 8, empty backfield again for the quarterback, Bruce Eugene. Looking to go to the air. Has it intercepted. It should be intercepted by Jackson State's Fred Thompson, but it was in and out of the hands of the receiver. I think it was Browning that had it, and then let it go. Let's see it once again.
Take a look here. He throws a perfect pass.
That was Colquitt.
That was the Colquitt's hands. He curl route, threw it right in the face mask. Wet surface there, maybe. Well, can't use the wet as an excuse anymore. It's dried up pretty good here. That's just lack of concentration. A good job by Thompson being on the spot. He came out, made a big hit in the first half, too, on the kickoff. So he started becoming a good player.
On 34, Jackson State with the ball. Their second turnover of the game against Grambling. And Counselor on the carry. Tanaka Counselor, a gain of 5.
On the southward GHU. Gain of 5, 2nd 5.
Trying to keep it on the ground, going right this time. So Lee is in the lineup, carrying the ball, sophomore out of Dallas. Into the game with an average of 4.8 yards per carry on 10 attempts. So it'll bring up 3rd and about 2. And now we get movement on both sides. Let's see who it's going to be against. Was it against Grambling or against Jackson State? Looks like it's going against Jackson State. Left tackle moved prematurely.
And that really hurts because you got 3rd and 2. Now you're looking at 3rd and 7. Chance of getting this arm that much greater. It's just the little things. I mean, this is a good football team. They've got another couple weeks of the season to correct it if they want to get back to that SWAC championship like we talked. The championship teams don't make those type of mistakes.
Next week, Jackson State goes to Arkansas Pine Bluff to play as Kent goes, and he has Cletus Gordon. Cletus Gordon at the midfield right and has the first down right in front of the Grambling bench. Cletus Gordon has the only touchdown of the game for Jackson State. A 5-yard pass before halftime. Jackson plays at Arkansas Pine Bluff, then they'll come home against Alabama A&M. They'll play Alcorn at home. 6 of their first 7 games was on the road this year for Jackson State, so they've seen it from all angles. Little pump fake, wide open. It should be a touchdown. Jackson State, Chris Jones. Chris Jones with the 50-yard pass from Robert Kent. The sophomore picks up his 5th receiving touchdown of the year.
Don't blink. What he's going to do, he's going to double move here. He's going to sell the curl route, kick, give him the pump fake, defensive back bites, hook, line, and sinker on the pump and go route. The good old-fashioned pump and go. Got him fooled. Octavius Bond peeking in the backfield.
4-play, 66-yard drive. Now penalty flag must have been too many men on the field for Grambling. Too many. They had 13 players on the field to try to stop a point after.
And you want to do flavor of the game?
Well, now they substitute somebody else. I'm still not sure how many people they have in there. Start counting, Jay.
I'm doing that now. I think they got it right now.
Actually, for the point after to make it a 31-14 game. He's missed 7 PATs this year, and he's missed this one as is partially blocked. So it remains 31-13. There's a timeout on the field, 6:01 remaining third quarter. Grambling ahead. Jackson State, they're in the house from the 11-yard line. The return. Pickett brings them all the way back out to the 42. So Grambling getting good position. The last two scores in this ball game, though, have been by Jackson State. They scored with 3:05 left in the second quarter to make it 31-7, and then they just scored a moment ago to make it 31-13.
You can see the wedge being set up in the middle. Pickett does a good job of running through the hole there and then making the kicker miss. If the kicker didn't have help, he might have taken it. Well, Pickett comes from some good bloodlines. The first cousin of Ron Springs, from Dallas Cowboys.
Buddy of yours. Sean Springs, of course, playing in the NFL. Under pressure. Shuffle pass is complete, but not much running room for DJ Clay as the heat was really being put on the quarterback.
When you're hot, you're hot. He should not get away with this pass here. Get ready to get sacked and just flicking the ball to a guy running the other way. But when you're in the zone, you can hit everything.
Larry McSwain was the man putting the pressure on the quarterback, Bruce Eugene. 5:10 remaining, third quarter. Eugene with a lot of time. And is caught by Thyron Anderson. Over the shoulder catch inside the 30 on the 27-yard line. So Thyron Anderson picks up another reception today. Anderson, that's his fourth.
This is a good job of just zipping it in there. It's a good job by Anderson concentrating after the defensive back made a break. And a lot of times the wide receiver will react to the DB and the ball. Good concentration on his part to just play what he saw.
Kentrell Gowdy was the defender on that particular play, and you can see the difference in the throwing of our quarterback Eugene in the second half, where early in the game he was missing those shots, or those players wouldn't have put those passes as he completes that one to Browning. He was overthrowing wide open receivers, and he's like found his mark right now.
He found a rhythm. Early on, he didn't have a rhythm at all. He started off 1 of 10. He's hit a lot of completions. He's found his rhythm, found his groove.
Second down. Now we got a flag. Somebody moved. Like Grambling is going to be guilty of a false start. You shoot yourself in the foot every time you get down here. You know, we talk about Eugene in the first game against McNeese. He threw 2 touchdowns. He was intercepted twice, sacked 3 times. Alcorn, he threw for 172 yards, 3 touchdowns, didn't interceptions, was sacked once. Alabama A&M threw for 201 yards. They kept getting better and better. That's why we talked about the last 4 games in which he really went to work. Incomplete. Browning, the intended receiver. We talk about the last 4 games against Tennessee. He threw for 402 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, wasn't sacked. Against Langston, threw for 412 yards, 3 touchdowns. But he also threw 3 interceptions, sacked 3 times. Against Prairie View, 3 touchdowns, 267 yards, wasn't intercepted. Last week against Arkansas Pine Bluff, 374 yards, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions.
I hope you enjoyed that last week. You don't get that often in your career, so savor it while you got it, but never forget it.
Next week, Grambling is at Texas Southern. They come home to play Alabama State, and they go to Morris Brown, and then close it out with the Bayou Classic against Southern, and this is out of bounds, and both players. Okay, on Douglas is the intended receiver.
Down and kick on the Grambling Tigers from the JSU 27-yard line.
Bring on the kicker here to talk to the kicker a little bit earlier this week. He said for the first time this year, he's completely healthy. He was a little dinged up, had some problems with his hamstring. You know those kickers anyway, they're real sensitive.
He's a sophomore. You know, he had a great year ago. He was a preseason conference player. He was actually the freshman year in the SWAC and ranked #1 in the nation in field goals a year ago. And struggled early on this season, and this one will be no good. So this one is a 44-yard attempt. And this falls short. So they missed a couple of field goals this afternoon. He missed a 36-yarder earlier. This one, no good. 31-17, our score remains. Jackson State will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 26. Better put that Jackson State up there. I guess they look at the Mississippi tags, they would know, right?
Yeah.
1st down and 10. Robert Kent back to pass. Incomplete on the side. Tim Manning, the intended receiver. Kent became a starter in the third game of his freshman year, and has been there ever since.
The cream always rises to the top, and when you got a player like that, it's just a matter of getting an opportunity to get on the football field, and he sees the moment. The players out there, when you get an opportunity to play, make the most of it, because you're not guaranteed anything in football.
Jackson State looking for another SWAC title. They've won 15 already. And last, though, was 1996. They need to get back there. And this one's complete to Chris Jones. They actually played in the first ever SWAC championship game, 99, and Bob Hughes took over as the head coach. But they lost that game. We talked about the first football coach in Grambling's history. Who was it? Well, there it is. It was Ralph Waldo Emerson Jones, better known as Prez. He was the first football coach. He coached 7 years. There were 6 others after him before Eddie Robinson took over. Jones also served as president of Grambling for 41 years. This was just a throwaway. He was the president from 1936 to 77. He also taught math, was the band director. And Grambling has only had 2 baseball coaches in their history. Prez was one of them, Ralph Waldo Emerson Jones, and Ellis, who's now the Barracks baseball coach, still here, who I talked to earlier today, is only the 2nd baseball coach in the history of Grambling State University. And Prez also was the dean of men. They wore a lot of hats. They lined the field. They sold popcorn at halftime. I mean, they did the whole thing back then. 4th down situation, punting situation for Dominic Addison. Pickett is the deep man to receive. Nice high punt, good hang time. Pickett calls for, makes the fair catch at the 37. Well, they said it didn't give him enough room. We'll see what happens here.
That's a question of the halo rule there. I mean, the guy called a fair catch. All the defensive player did was run right by him.
He ran by him, and
I mean, he was 5 yards past him once the ball got there.
Right. So I don't. Maybe they will pick up this flag. There's a conference going on among the officials. Like you said, he called for the fair catch. Now they're going to mark it off. Anyway, nobody gives you more like black college sports than we do. MBC, the television network. This is the first half. You understand he was hitting the back of the head, has bird vision, and they're taking him in for observation. Here's Bruce Eugene, who did this a lot in the first half. He runs for 4 yards down to the midfield stripe. So to bring 2nd down and 6.
Don't mind Bruce Eugene running for those 3 or 4 yard gains. You just don't want him breaking the big one on you. The 18-yarder, 17-yarder. They've done a good job of making some adjustments at halftime, trying to contain this offense.
Well, if Jackson's going to have an opportunity here, they have to do a better job moving the ball. They get it back offensively, even though they still have 15 minutes plus 2:22 left in the 3rd quarter here in this game. You don't want to belabor anything that you need to get done. This one pass is complete, and still on his feet and running for some good yards is Correll Charles.
That's a little bit of the experience coming in there. We talked about Lewis, the freshman, but this is Charles Jr., a little bit more experience, knowing that, hey, it's a crucial point in the football game. Let me get all the yards I can get and not just go down off after the reception.
So a 1st down is gained, and the ball is spotted at the 41 of Jackson State. Grambling here in the 2nd half has penetrated all the way to the 26-yard line on the last drive, but missed on a 44-yard field goal attempt. Here's Correll Charles again. But he grabbed by Dion Dubois by the ankle, and Dion wouldn't let go. So a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 5.
I know those big D linemen from Jackson State, they're sucking up a little bit of wind. Dubois, Sloan, Mays, Speaks, they've been on the field for a lot of time. And every time you're pass rushing, that tires you out a whole lot. You're constantly trying to get upfield going full speed.
This time, Charles again has some room to the outside, gets a block, but being chased. Not as much room as it looked like he had when he first started, as Vince Davis came up to make the stop.
Davis came in that screen like a heat-seeking missile. Everybody was running slow motion and running regular speed.
Big measure of this one. It's close. Now it's 3rd down. It's about 3rd and inches. for Grambling. The ball spotted right outside the 31-yard line. They have to get to the 31 for the first down. Charles is the lone setback. On third down, fade toward the end zone. Byron, and a great catch by Douglas. With 13 seconds to go in the third quarter. So Douglas continues his 7th reception, 8th of the day, brother.
One-on-one coverage in the secondary. Douglas takes advantage of beating the guy one-on-one. He's been their go-to guy. You can't defend him one-on-one. All you can do is have to contain him. You see Eugene deliver the ball, take the hit, absorb the big blow. Look how pretty that spiral is. Allow the wide receiver to run up under the football there.
You can't throw it any better than that. Willard's covering him man-to-man, and Douglas goes out there and gets it. That's a sign of two people working very, very well together. It was good for a 29-yard gain. As we come back to start the fourth quarter, Grambling will have a 1st and goal at the Jackson State 3. Grambling over Jackson State, and they have the ball with a 1st and goal. He began his journey as a force, and what he's done so far coming into the game this year, he was 41 catches, 742 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He has 2 touchdowns today. He's 3 away from tying the school record for touchdowns in a season held by
Scotty Anderson. One of the Anderson boys from Grambling, Jonesboro, Louisiana.
Full house backfield. Correll Charles trying to dance his way in, but no way he's going to get there as Dubois made sure and grabbed the ankle, number 93. Some other scores from the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Howard University beats A&T today 20-16 in Washington, D.C. Morgan State wins its 3rd straight. In overtime, they beat Delaware State 35-28. Morgan State beat A&T and Howard in previous weeks, and South Carolina State in double overtime got by Hampton 47-41. Good games there in the MEAC today. On the quarterback keeper, here's the quarterback. Eugene trying to get in.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yes, he just stiff-armed the defender, and he got in for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the day.
I mean, Eugene said, okay, you guys want to call me fat back? I'll show you fat back.
And let me tell you, he was laboring when he turned the corner. When he got to the 5, I didn't think he was going to get around the corner.
I think so. We knew he wasn't going to make it to the corner. He
like
was
trying to turn a ship in the ocean, wasn't it?
Yeah, but look at this. He says, I'll put my 250 against your 190 pounds, and I'm going to take you for a ride. All he has to do is just touch the pylon. He touched it with his feet for the touchdown.
And the point after is good by Morgan. And the lead is stretched to 38-13 on the beginning of the fourth quarter. We'll be back. By 25, but Jackson State will get the ball to start right after this score by Grambling. Eugene, 3 rushing touchdowns today. He's also thrown a couple of touchdown passes. So he's fit prominently in every score this afternoon.
Coach Williams is on his way up to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Beyond as one of the 70 greatest Redskins of all time.
To a Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos. And your old coach, Steve Wilson, was playing in that Super Bowl game as a defensive back for Denver. From the 9-yard line, Michael Johnson on the return, and he has him running up the sideline, and he's still on his feet, and finally out of bounds, not before he gets it all down to the 33-yard line of Grambling. So a great return for Michael Johnson.
Got to the scene and turned on the Jets. Special teams can carry a football team so far. You have great special teams to make the game that much easier. Instead of Jackson State having to drive 80 or 70 yards downfield, they're just looking at a short field 35 yards from the end zone.
55 yards in the return. That last scoring drive was a 7-play, 53-yard affair that took off 3:37 off the clock. But Jackson State now with the ball at the Grambling 33. Good field position. Kent. One to set up the screen, steps up, pump fakes, has a man out there, overthrew him. Troy Ross was there and overthrew Ross.
Ross has been there for him all day, but it's kind of hard to judge how fast your receiver's going when you have a short field like this and people in your face all day. Did a good athletic move of making the defender jump and miss, of even getting that pass off. Got to take a little bit off. Like we saw Bruce Eugene lob that ball under there. He needs to take a little off, put a little bit more air underneath his pass.
Antoine Barnes was the man defending downfield for Grambling State. On 2nd down and 10 again. He has Cletus Gordon, and Gordon has it and goes out of bounds inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal. Jackson State at the 9.
That's pretty. He should thread that 7 route, that post corner route in there like he did. I mean, look at this. He's over here on the left hash. But you're going to see he's on the far hash right here. Going to do a good job of throwing the ball all the way across the field to get the receiver right before he ran out of bounds. That's just fun to watch.
And it's 1st and goal for Jackson State, trailing by 25 here in the 4th quarter. At the 9, to Torrey Ross. Touchdown, Jackson State.
Just like that, we knew they could score quickly and in bunches. Special teams set it up. They did a good job of following up the offense, punching in there quickly. That drive must have taken less than a minute, I'm sure. They did a good job trying to give their band something to jump out.
It started at 14-18 and 13-23. As you said, it took less than a minute. It was a 3-play, 33-yard drive. Took 55 seconds off the clock. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Rolling left. Will he get there? No. So it's 38-19.
He got that, Charles. I can't believe they didn't give that to him.
I know.
I mean, it really is just stretching it out and
right,
touching the pylon or breaking the brain of the pylon. We'll be back right after this.
Jackson State just scored. You know, one of the things I'm sure Grambling is being very cautious about is that the fact that against A&T earlier in the year, they lost 42-36, but trailed 42-10 in the 4th quarter. Kent threw 5 touchdown passes, and they threw for they had 742 total yards, but more importantly, if they hadn't had 8 turnovers in that ball game, and you know how dangerous Kent is. That Bond gets to the sideline and brings it out close to the 35. They'll knock him out at the 34-yard line. 29-yard attempt for return, and mark it at the 35. Let's go down to Nicole.
All right, Charlie. With me now are the children of Doug Williams. Ashley to my left and young DJ to my right, who makes it to all the games. We want to ask Ashley, first of all, did you get some of that? Are you a good football player just like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Is that all you got for me? Okay, now you got to be a good talker, too. It's part of the game, okay? Okay. Well, tell everybody how old you are, what school you go to.
I'm 10 and I go to the Grambling Lab.
Now, do you give your dad any tips on how to coach the folks out here? Because, you know, he's doing okay thus far, but he might need a little tip. What do you say?
Sometimes I don't.
All right, DJ, got to do a little practice on that, okay? All right. DJ and Ashley, the kid Doug Williams. Charlie J, back to you.
That's 2 5 that he has. Of course, Ashley 19, sophomore Adrian, another one 15, Jasmine 8, and Russell 4. So part of the Doug Williams clan. That was Doug Jr. wearing the famous number 12 number. Here's Eugene. How did he get through there?
I see what they mean. I mean, for a guy his size, he's got tremendous feet. When I say feet, his footwork is there. He's not slow-footed at all. He's a big, bulking kid, but he's not slow-footed. He's quick on his feet. Probably does a lot of jump rope. Maybe growing up did a little touch, things like that.
Was that something you worked on as a quarterback? Because you were large for quarterbacks as far as quarterbacks are concerned.
You have to. You have to jump rope all the time. And, you know, your footwork is your base and your foundation. So you have a solid foundation, you'll never be a great passer. And me with, you know, size 15 shoes, I had to work doubly hard at it.
Under a lot of pressure. That may be offensive pass interference. That might be offensive pass interference. What do you think?
Now, I think that, you know, as Anderson was trying to come back and get the football, the Jackson State defender grabbed a whole lot of jersey there and wouldn't free himself up.
I thought I saw Anderson doing a little swim move.
When you're being held, you do whatever you can to get rid of the ball. You know, I want to say the defender there did a good job of yanking on the jersey coolly. Ball was underthrown. You know, balls like that are underthrown are the hardest for a defensive back to defend because they're so worried about getting deep. When the ball's underthrown, that puts the offensive receiver in an advantage. They see it the whole time. They can just stop. A lot of times the defensive back will grab you and hold on, not knowing where you're going.
They're going to call defensive pass interference against Jackson State. That is the 9th, make that the 10th penalty of the day for the Tigers of Jackson State. Grambling's been penalized 7 times so far. First down and 10. Grambling at the 45 of Jackson State. Terrell Charles breaks a tackle, still on his feet, and finally is brought down at the 40, but a determined effort by Terrell Charles. A 5-yard gain, but he did about a 30 yards worth of work, didn't he?
Yeah, and that was definitely all Terrell Charles, wasn't it? I mean, take a look at it, you're going to see at least 9 defenders from the Jackson State defense have an opportunity to make this tackle. Take a look at the plays, we run the replay. Just watch how many guys he makes a miss. You see 1, 2 guys holding them there. Here come 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4. Then you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys in there to bring down one guy.
In other words, everybody touched him.
Everybody touched him.
Touched by everybody, huh? Eugene throws to Thyron Anderson. Anderson down to the 30, but for down. They'll mark it at the 31, but it is a first down for the Tigers of Grambling. Jake Gowan on the stop. Eugene, 100 yards passing today, 126 yards running. He started out the day 110. He is now 21 of 40, 109 yards.
Yeah, man, this is over there in the office for that kid. He's coming here with something to prove. Robert King came in with all the hype and the publicity. He said he's going to take care of his stuff on the field.
This might be our candidate, or maybe our player here in the SWAC. Boy, he stood under there, and he really stood a long time, but he paid the price. Bobby Mays really hit him, and both of them were getting up a little slow. When you get 2 bulls running to each other,
something's got to give. In this case, it's both of them. That's a mutual respect sack there.
Mays weighs in at about 240. So, and they say Eugene is well. He keeps saying he's slimming down. He's been on the tuna fish diet.
Yeah, you see here, I mean, Eugene doesn't even see this coming. Normally, when a quarterback gets hit and he doesn't see it coming, then he's the one going to get up real slow. But in that case, you hit that wall there, he got up a little while.
Yeah, and Grambling calls a timeout right now. So 10:13 is the time remaining. They're going to have to put some more time back on the clock. The clock is ticking down after the call timeout. We'll be back. Score, Grambling leading Jackson State by 19. Let's look at our Verizon long distance play of the game. It came in the 3rd quarter. Here's Robert, should say Bruce Eugene with the pass, and it goes to Tremaine Douglas. Our long distance play of the game brought to you by Verizon. Of course, Douglas with 2 touchdown passes today. That one from 28 yards out.
Good job of catching the ball thrown over his outside shoulder. Good throw, good catch by the 2 roommates, two business partners there, hooking up on the football field.
The delay is the time on the clock. As I said, I thought they would probably put more time back on. Now it's should be about 10:13. As opposed to 10. Now he's going to put 11. I guess they're going to have to count backward.
Eugene was the best football player on the football field today.
No question about it. And he had a 7 touchdown performance a week ago against Arkansas Pine Bluff. 2nd down 10. Thyron Anderson. Good move inside the 20 for a first down at the 19.
Thyron Anderson stepped up. He got off to a jittery start. Obviously, we talked about the rivalry. All these kids came out a little nervous, but after he settled down,
he stepped up early on in the game.
These are these new just extended handoffs. You fake it one way, you throw it behind the scrimmage on the left side, allow your big playmakers to make plays for you. Turn a little simple 1-yard pass to a 10-yard first down.
Talk about Thyron Anderson. He was recruited by LSU. He was recruited by TCU. He was recruited by Alcorn and recruited by Jackson State. He decided to come here to Grambling. His brother played here as a defensive back. Here's Eugene taking off for the run. Cuts it inside at the 9-yard line. It is very close to another first down. About a 9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, he took a hit there on the knee there. He's got to either go out of bounds or slide. He's gimping up like that. You know, you're running like that, you've had some success. As a quarterback, as the leader of your team, you don't want to find out how good your backup is.
Actually, they're saying he didn't get enough for the first down. So it'll be 1st down and goal. 1st and goal. Grambling trying to put some more points on the board with 9:20 to go. We're in the 4th quarter here at Eddie Robinson Stadium on the campus of Grambling State University in Grambling, Louisiana. Charlie Neal along with Jay Walker, Nicole Watson. Eugene again, and they're whistle to play dead, so with some movement on the offensive side ball, it'll move them back a little further. So rather than 1st and goal at the 8, it'll be 1st and goal at the 13. Jackson State started the season, lost to Southern Miss. Held 72 yards rushing. They lost to A&T, Tennessee State, Southern, Mississippi Valley before losing to Alabama State. They had a costly turnover in that game that was returned 73 yards for a touchdown, if you remember. And there's a pass out in the corner, incomplete. Intended for Douglas. The defender fell down.
And they had some incidental contact. That's why they wouldn't get the ball off. Just that little incidental contact that made him stumble was enough to offset the touchdown pass. Otherwise, you'd have been looking at touchdown number 13 for Douglas. And Bruce Eugene would have padded his stats some more had they been able to complete that touchdown pass there. So that brings up a little bit of a second and goal from the 13-yard line. A little bit more to work with. So an opportunity here to take some of those deep shots compared to if you have the ball on the 7-yard line. It's a compact field that you work with. Not a lot of room for error.
2nd down and goal from the 13. Standing in there. Throws incomplete at the 3.
Incomplete.
Intended for Thyron Anderson.
Intended for Anderson. Let's bring up 3rd down. Defending for TSU 27 Watson.
Great man coverage being played there by Derek Watson. Riding Anderson into the ground now. He's got Anderson, a big target. Don't let him get too much separation on you. Watson did a good job of putting himself between the goal line and the football.
Zip, touchdown. Douglas, his 3rd of the day.
Great job there. They've been throwing the corner route several times on several occasions. They've thrown the corner around the end zone at least 8 times. They completed it once, twice. They come back with post route this time inside for the touchdown.
Number 14, Kevin
Douglas works again. Douglas has scored 3. Touchdown pass to Dave Morgan for the point after. It is good. And it's 45 to 19. Eugene, he throws 3 touchdown passes today. Let's go down to Nicole.
So, you hear all these rumors about what was going on. I like Coach Williams' quote best. Grambling been here 100+ years. He's not going to disappear overnight.
Right.
So he wasn't too concerned about it. He knew they had a great academic program here, and we're glad that they got that accreditation, all those rumors and stories behind them. So everybody gets concentrated on Grambling being the great university that it is.
From the 10-yard line, Cox on return and out to the 35-yard line. Brandon Cox out to the 35. Jackson State with the ball once again. And trailing by a score of 45 to 19. Talking about the touchdown record for season held by Scott Anderson. It's in jeopardy right now.
It's in serious jeopardy.
It's 13 touchdowns right now for the season for Tremont Douglas. 1st and 10, Jackson State. Kent overthrows a wide open Cletus Gordon. Wide open Cletus Gordon. Kent would love to have that one back. You can see the disappointment on his face.
You know, you said it earlier, sometimes the hardest throws to make with a guy, one's when a guy is wide open. In that case there, the reason why you want to put all that air underneath the ball and kind of lob it out there is if you don't make a perfect pass, he can adjust.
Run under it, right.
Go a line drive, it's got to be perfect, or you got a 5% margin of error.
Under 8 minutes to go. Incomplete on the far sideline. Michael Johnson, the intended receiver, that's Ross. Number 80. Mike Johnson, the speedster, number 86.
Third down 10 for JSU at their own 35-yard line.
Quick as kick, miss a pass like he just missed, and he comes back and he makes a great throw there that should have been caught. You know, so it's kind of the Jekyll and Hyde. He has the first half with ice cold, and it comes back hot. If he puts the whole package together, he's going to be something special.
Both quarterbacks have completed passes to 7 different receivers.
Kenny would do one to himself.
Yeah, he certainly did. He is credited with a reception. That's why it is 7 different receivers. It was batted in the air, and he caught it. On the far sideline, this one is Torrey Ross, and Ross has the first down across midfield into Grambling territory. So Torrey Ross, that's his 7th reception of the day. Chris Jones has 4, Cletus Gordon 4, and Tim Manning, who's their lead receiver, has held check pretty much today with 3 receptions.
You know, that's a credit to the Grambling St secondary. They've got some corners over there that can flat out cover. Bond and Brown, you know, pick your poison.
Little snap picked up. Cletus Gordon has it. And Cletus Gordon was out of bounds when he caught the ball. They're going to call it incomplete. His foot was out of bounds, even though he caught the ball. So it's an incomplete pass.
We talk about the athleticism that Robert can have. You know he plays on the tennis team too, Charlie?
Yes, indeed. He's quite an athlete.
With his size and stature, probably play a little basketball too if he wanted to, but I think 2 sports is enough. Playing quarterback on a Division I level can be challenging enough.
Well, you know, he did have a great game a year ago against Grambling up at Jackson. He threw 6 interceptions that game. He had a back over going in, but he still was victimized by the defense of Grambling a year ago. So Grambling had his number for a couple of years. Joey Walker had that.
Yeah, and that happened. As great a quarterback I think I was, I struggled every year against Bethune-Cookman. Didn't like to see him. I knew I was going to need Mother Case, and that may be the case. Grambling is one of those teams that gives him a lot of trouble with the matchup problems, but he's behind tearing up the rest of the Southwestern Athletic.
From the 29, and the shotgun. Going for Cletus Gordon. There, touchdown, Jackson State. Cletus Gordon from 29 yards out, and Kent has 6 more on the board. Gonna go for 2.
That's kind of my strength against your strength. He stepped up good, big time today. Chris Brown supposed to be their all-world cornerback over there from Grambling State. Perfect throw. Got kind of peeking in the backfield. Take a look here. He's going to go just a pure go route with a little bit of a pump route. That pump might have frozen the defense back and allowed Gordon an opportunity to get behind him.
6-play, 65-yard drive. They're going to go for 2. And the quarterback will not get an opportunity to get it there. So it'll be a 45-25 ball game. Time out on the field, under 7 to go, 6:55 to be exact, and Grambling possibly ahead. Cole Watson, I'm Charlie Neal. We're in Grambling, Louisiana, where Jackson State just put 6 more points on the board on a Cletus Gordon reception from Robert Kent of 29 yards. Time is ticking away.
Jackson State band, it's getting hot in here.
Watch out, Jay.
That was the song, Charlie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just talking about the song, Charlie.
All right, let's look at our MBC drive of the game. Here is our quarterback, Eugene.
Beautiful pass. Over the top, put a lot of touch on it.
That's to Douglas.
And then he followed it up with a little bit of athleticism there. Committed to running a little bit early, and then when he had to get the ball in the end zone, he said, I'll take matters in my own hand with a stiff arm, putting it in, bowling into the end zone for the capitalized drive.
That was the NBC drive of the game, and that was a 4-yard run that Eugene capped that drive with. It was a 7-play, 53-yard drive.
while we got an opportunity, let's take a look. This man right here, Coach Spears, offensive coordinator from Grambling, he needs to be a head coach. Every now and then you got these jobs that come up. We've got to start giving credit to the assistant coaches on the black college level, because not once has Eugene come up on interception, he basically dismantled this Jackson State defense from the onset. What does it take to get a head coaching job? Now, I know Coach Williams don't want to hear this stuff, but I think he's well qualified.
From the 11-yard line, DJ Clay on the return and out of bounds. But even more importantly, you also make an argument for Mike Brooks, the defensive coordinator, who's done a great job of putting together the defense to thwart all these high-powered offenses they faced this year.
Yeah, what happens if you get to the bigger levels, Division I level, the Florida State, when they had all the success, he started losing all of his assistant coaches. We don't necessarily see enough of that on the black college level. Clearly, Grambling is one of the better programs in black college football right now. But why don't the others start plucking some of their assistants? That's how you lessen their power and you spread it out amongst the rest of the university colleges.
From their own 36, Grambling comfortably ahead. And keeping the ball on the ground, going to try to run the clock out. Are you surprised that Eugene is still in there now?
I am serious at this point in the game, but I think what the kicker is, they can't quite get them over that 20-point barrier. Every time they get ready to kick them out for a series, they'll score. There were 20 points with 6 minutes left. The onside kick in football, it's just your comfort level's not there.
Second down. 2nd and 5. Correll Charles spelled Delvin Lewis. I think Delvin went down with a little bruise. That's why we haven't seen him as of late. Correll Charles picks up about 3 yards, down to about the 37. 3rd and 2.
Now gets where you start to wonder about your quarterback. 3rd and 2. If you're going to throw the football, you really don't want him taking any hits just because he's in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did a toss, sweep, and ran for the first down rather than risk their quarterback getting injured.
Jackson State, 387 total yards, 326 passing. But the story of the game was the turnovers. They had 4 costly turnovers that resulted in Grambling points. And you take away those turnovers that Grambling converted into points, you've got a different ball game here.
You do. Mark Reed, the free safety for Grambling, could be one of the valuable players in this game. He came out with 2 early interceptions that killed drives. That turned into a 14-point differential. We'd have a very close football game if it weren't for those interceptions.
518 yards for Grambling today, 335 in the air.
Look at their passing yards. I mean, Bruce is thrown for 335 yards. Kent with 326. That's real close because even their pass efficiency ratings for the season, they're only off by 3 or 4 points.
Well, they came in pretty equal. 1,919 yards for Robert Kent. Here's Eugene want to add to that total. Trying to get it down to Tyron Anderson. Eugene came to the game with 1,973 yards passing. So they were pretty equal in terms of passing yards, and they're going to go away from this game pretty equal unless they complete one of them long bombs like he just
said. Yeah, what it comes down to at the end of the day, Bruce Eugene is saying, hey, I've lost 1 game. Mr. Kent, you've lost 3, and one of those came to my team, against my team.
So for all practical purposes, and you can never count anybody out because you never know what will happen. Of course, Jackson State was looking for some help from Alabama State today. They play Alabama A&M down in Birmingham. But Alabama A&M is sitting on pretty, along with Alcorn, as far as the Eastern Division is concerned. Alabama A&M. So Jackson State calls a timeout, but Alabama A&M and Alcorn were the top 2 teams in the Eastern Division, and depending on what results come out of today's action, topsy-turvy, but I don't believe 2 losses is going to get you to the championship game.
It may.
You never know.
It may.
3 remaining. 4th pass, and it's caught by Douglas. And for Douglas, that's his 10th reception of the day. And it's good enough for a 1st down at the 40-yard line of Jackson State. Coming into today's game, we'll talk about NCAA comparisons as we look at this play again. Jackson State came in number 1 in passing efficiency, Grambling number 4. Total offense, Jackson State came in number 1, Grambling number 11. Passing efficiency, Jackson State came in 19, Grambling 17. Scoring offense, Jackson State 39th, Grambling 5th. So what do those numbers mean?
They're close.
That's right.
Statistically, they're
very close.
Head to head, it's a different ball game. That's all that tells me.
First down. Correll Charles turns the corner, picks up about 6 yards down to the 35-yard line. You know, these two schools traditionally, Jay, and you can attest to it by your associations, have had some great names talking about who's who in the NFL that came out of these schools. I mean, Grambling. You're talking with some of the younger guys like Scotty Anderson, Jake Reed, who's still playing, Charlie Joyner, Willie Davis, Buck Buchanan, James Hunt, Jermaine Johnson, Albert Lewis, defensive back, Carlos Pennywell, Gary Big Hands Johnson, Sammy White, who's on the coaching staff here, Dwight Scales, James Harris, Frank Lewis, Essex Johnson, Lane Howell, who's the compliance coordinator here. Here's Byron Anderson, touchdown. Grambling from 34 yards out.
That's pretty right there. Going over the top. I love Bruce Eugene's touch. He's got something. Touch a hard thing to teach. He's got it. That's one of the things. He's an accurate passer. As a quarterback, we like to say the toughest things to do are throw a touch pass and continue to be accurate. If you're accurate, you work from there. The strong arm can come. He's got a lot. He's over the package. I'm very impressed with this young man. He's a student of the game. He wants to get better. He's always working hard. And he's got a tremendous coach in Coach Williams that can help guide him and make him continue to be a better quarterback. He may win the Peyton Award one day.
That's what I'm saying. You know, when we saw Doug and we were laughing about some of the deficiencies we felt that Bruce Eugene had after the preview game down in Dallas, I was saying, well, Doug, you may come down a day early and work with him a little bit, because sometimes you hear it from your coach all the time. Sometimes it's nice to hear from somebody outside of the organization, and you said, what am I going to tell him? You got Doug Williams as his coach.
You know, Doug taught me. I remember I won the Doug Williams Award, and I listened so much to Doug Williams, and the information he gave me was so valuable. I mean, why take his hand? Why deal with the tail when you can do the head?
Brian Morgan for the point after to make it a 52-25 ball game. The kick is up, and it is good. And Grambling in complete control right now. That was a 8-play, 6. Tim Barnett, Rich Castor, Verlin Biggs, Chris Burkett, Darian Connor, Speedy Duncan. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Let's look at our MVPs of this particular game, brought by Office Depot after the 34-yard line. So Jack State with the ball first down and 10, but trailing by 27 points here with 3:03 to go. You know, you talk about the College Football Hall of Fame, Buck Buchanan, tradition, overthrown, Cletus Gordon, the intended receiver.
Yep. You know, we came into this game and we knew that there was a lot going on here. We had to figure out what it was going to take for both teams to be successful today. That leads us to our Verizon keys to victory in this football game. As we go over the scorecard, we'll see that in order for Jackson State to win, they had to protect the quarterback. It's going to be 2 minuses, 1 plus.
Tory Ross, and how about Grambling?
Taking a look at the Grambling scorecard, what they were able to do today was they must hit the quarterback or Robert Kent. They got to Robert Kent today, so they get the plus mark there. Offensive line must protect Bruce Eugene. So what do you think they get on that?
Double plus.
We're going to give them 2 pluses there. Score.
52 points is enough, isn't it?
52 points is more than enough in this game. They only needed 30.
Kent runs for the first down out to the 44-yard line, but more importantly, the clock continues to run down on this 51st meeting between Jackson and Grambling. Grambling in complete control. They started out with the Morgan, 31-yard field goal to make it 3-0, 17-0. But Jackson State didn't help the cause by turning the ball over, as this one is overthrown. Then Eugene hit Fremont Douglas with the first of 3 touchdown passes to him. Make it 24-0. That one came from 21 yards, and then he made it 28-yarder, made it 31-0 before half. Kent managed to get Jackson State into the end zone. That was set up by a 55-yard kickoff return by Michael Johnson and made it 38-19. But then after that, it was all Grambling. And there's Tory Ross. He grabs it, and he's going to get in. Touchdown, Jackson State.
They just when you think they're going to lose a bit of fizzle, he makes an athletic play like that with a great throw and a great catch. Joey Ross adding on to those. He already had a phenomenal game, making this his breakout game. The freshman with unlimited potential, 6'4", 200 pounds. He can play, he can fly.
And I'll tell you, and Kent laid it on the money, but actually, I thought he overthrew. That shows you the speed of Ross, because Ross shifted into another gear and went and got that ball.
He did. That's the thing about it. He was able to kick on the afterburner. That's what distinguishes the good ones from the great ones. The ability to kick into an extra gear. Even Jerry Rice had that. Even though he wasn't the fastest on the clock, in terms of football speed, he was able to go as fast as he could go.
That's the longest touchdown reception of the year. The previous was 25. That was good for 55. Thrown into the end zone. Almost a one-handed grab, and it's broken up.
1 minute 55 seconds remaining in the ball game. Our score, Grambling 52.
So it's 52-31. As the two-point conversion fails.
I heard you say, we said that Morgan State got the victory today, didn't they?
Yes,
3 in a
they
row
did.
for Morgan. I know there's a very happy camper down in Atlanta, Georgia right now that is just beaming that Morgan's won 3 games in a row this year.
So a 5-play, 65-yard run drive. Jackson State has scored the last 3 times they've had the ball.
You know, we know they have the potential to score in bunches. They just can't continue to fall behind early. They scored 31 points. Typically, you want to think that 31 points would be enough to get you a victory, but not when you're giving your opponent football 5 times on turnover.
And they've scored 24 points in the second half. They were down 31-7 at the half. And, of course, because they were so far behind, they kept trying to make it up with a 2-point conversion rather than just going for the extra point.
Yeah, and part of the reason they had to go for the 2-point conversion, they had 1 block, so you didn't think there was any future in going for extra points.
Look at the difference. If you look at first of all, let's tell you about Bruce Eugene, 380 yards passing and 4 touchdowns, and Jackson State got the ball back on the onside kick.
The onside kick recovered by the Jackson State.
Maybe too little too late, but I'll tell you, they got the ball. That's the most important thing for them.
I always thought the onside kick was one of the most exciting plays in football. Somebody's going to get hit. There's going to be a collision. And whatever happens can change the nature of the football game completely.
Throws an out pattern and is way overthrown, intended for Tim Manning, who's been very quiet here this afternoon. Manning only 3 receptions today. Troy Ross with 10 to match Tremont Douglas, who also has 10. Ross with 101 yards, 181. Actually, believe it or not, they both have 181 yards received on 10 catches. One has 3 touchdowns, the other has 2.
Quarterbacks got numbers look alike. The big play receivers said they have numbers just alike.
Certainly do. Kent looking in the middle of the field. Ross was there momentarily. Now he's going to take off. Cletus Gordon is yelling for the ball. Cletus is sitting over here on the sideline. He's sitting in Doug Williams' lap and nobody's around him. And Doug is yelling, hey, look, somebody got to go over and get this guy. Cletus was having a little conniption over here on the sideline. He was so wide open.
Plenty of room to run. But that's one of the ones where you lock in downfield. Cleveland only about 7 yards. Kent was looking for bigger things, and he got the 20-yard completion down the field.
10-1 last year. I mean, yeah, talking about continual improvement. That should be, and it is, intercepted by Piggott. So the 5th turnover of the day by the Jackson State Tigers, and Piggott kind of ends any hope of Jackson State has of getting in the end zone once again.
The thing that Doug Williams has proven is he's a winner. Winning on any level is what it's all about. As a player in the NFL, he was able to win. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Part of it, he's thrown for 409 yards, 5 touchdowns, but he's also thrown 3 interceptions.
He has, you know, like I said, it's one of those days. But I always like to look for the positive. Hey, he reduced that number in half from last year. 6 last year,
yeah.
3 this year. Next year, it'll go down to 0.
I'm sure Coach Hughes don't want to hear that. That's no consolation. Okay, so I threw 6 interceptions last year. I only threw 3 this year. No, I'd rather you say I threw 6 touchdowns last year. So I only threw 3 this year. But
hey, you got to try something, Charlie. You got to try something.
Under a minute to go in this one, which has been all Grambling. Although Jackson State started to ruffle some feathers in the second half, but it was a little too late.
And one of the things, they could meet again later on in the season, and I'm sure Grambling doesn't really want to play Jackson State again.
Eugene will take a knee. And that's going to be the last play of this ball game. Jay, Nicole, and I will see you in a couple weeks. We'll be down in Frankfort, Kentucky. It'll be Kentucky State against Tuskegee in a SIC matchup. And congratulations to Doug Williams, who comes away with the victory. His 39th at Grambling, his 42nd overall as a head coach, as they come away with a 52-31 win over the Tigers of Jackson State. Bob Hughes, his team, falls, and that is his 15th loss as a head coach. They know each other well. Jay?
This is what rivalries are all about. You're going to have certain years where you take your lumps, other years when one team is loaded, you're not, but the rivalry continues to grow. These two teams will be back facing each other tooth and nail again next year. That's the beauty of college football rivals.
Well, that was 51 times these two teams have met, and the 32nd time that Grambling has come out victorious. 52-31, the final from Robinson Stadium here on the campus of Grambling State University in Grambling, Louisiana. Eugene with some impressive numbers that he put up. 10. He was 18 carries, 133 yards. He ran for 3 touchdowns and threw for 380 yards and 4 touchdowns. Again, the final score, 52-31. Grambling comes out victorious over Jackson State here. Don't forget to stay tuned for the lounge, which is coming up next. Meanwhile, Nicole Watson is standing by with a winning coach, Doug Williams. Nicole?
Hopefully the very happy winning coach with me now, Williams. And Doug, the name of this game, obviously, protect the quarterback. Tell us about the effort that your offensive line put out today.
Well, ain't no doubt about it. You know, two of the quarterback league was on the field today, and, you know, they took a couple shots, but I think overall both sides did well, and I know our side did well for Bruce in the first half.
Give us an assessment of where you think you are at this point in the season.
You know, I wish I could say, because, you know, in your mind, you know you still got some young guys, but at the same time, they're playing pretty decent. And I think after today's game, they realized that we got a great opportunity, an opportunity to go back to Birmingham.
Guess what? You won. You can smile now.
Well, got a game next week.
Always the ever-serious Doug Williams, Charlie and Jay. He won this one, believe it or not. You can't tell by his face. Back to you.
All right, next week they'll play at Texas Southern down in Houston. Again, for Jay, Nicole, and the rest of us here at MBC Sports, Charlie Neal saying so long from Grambling, Louisiana, where the Grambling Tigers have beat Jackson State 52-31. Stay tuned for the lounge coming up next.
This has been an MBC Sports presentation.